What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that thumbs up button. More likes equals more hooligans. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we will be getting things started. Now, first, I want to remind you hooligans really quick that my birthday is coming up. So if you would like to send me something for my birthday, you are welcome to do so. We will be doing a birthday unboxing on March 11th, which is a little less than a month away. So use the wish list link or the P.O. Box link if you would like to send me something for my birthday and be a part of the birthday unboxing. So give me a second here. I'm going to drop this link in the chat really quick, and we're going to get through the schedule. This should work. The only questionable thing is GoofTube. Oh, it worked. It worked. Come on, thing. Load, you piece of shit. I think they killed our live on X. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Anyways, there's the links. Go do the thing. We're going to be starting off with a video titled Trump Administration Tries to Bring Back Fired Nuclear Weapon Workers. We covered this a couple days ago. I don't know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, one of those days. We covered it, but apparently they're trying to bring these workers back. Now, they don't give a lot of details on this, but apparently some of these workers were fired and even locked out of their emails before being notified that they were fired. Then everybody packed their shit and left, and now they want to bring them back to work and they don't know how to get a hold of them. So, I don't know. Sounds like a mess. Then we have some interesting stuff going on. I don't know if Tennessee and that's considered the Midwest, but either way, bad weather. It's titled More Than 1,000 People Rescued from Deadly Flash Floods in the South. What's really interesting about this whole flood situation, there ain't no FEMA there. FEMA's not there. I don't know. There's 11 people dead so far, and like I said, 1,000 people have been rescued. No FEMA though. Then we got a video titled President Trump at Daytona 500. We brought the American spirit back in less than 4 weeks. Then we got a little bit more Daytona footage titled President Trump doing 2 laps at the 2025 Daytona 500. And then our last of the Daytona footage is President Trump gaggles with press after leaving the Daytona 500. All of that took place yesterday. Then we got a video titled Protesters Urge Governor Hochul, or however you say that woman's name, to remove New York City Mayor Eric Adams from office. Now, we've seen Mayor Eric Adams become red-pilled, and now he's siding with President Trump, and well, New York doesn't like that. So now they're making claims that Eric Adams is being held hostage by President Trump. They literally think that because they're that stupid. So that's going on. Then we got an interesting video titled DOGE to uncover a lot more than wasteful spending, says Representative Tim Burchett, saying they mentioned in this video that we're sending the Taliban 40 million doll hairs a week. I don't even know what we're doing that for, and they said it could be more than 40 million. We're doing it every week. Why are we doing that? Then we got a video titled Doge seeks IRS taxpayer data access as firing continues. They now got their sights over at the IRS. That being said, then our next video is Trump fires FAA staff weeks after deadly mid-air collision. Now, I can't remember who it is that covers that, but they spin it and say, oh, instead of making staff better, instead we're getting rid of people, blah, blah, like saying that what President Trump is doing is bad. Then we got a video titled Homan calls on DOJ to probe AOC for helping border crossers avoid ICE. It's kind of an update on what's going on with Tom Homan and the whole mass deportation thing, and then near the end of the video they bring up AOC and they claim that it's up to the DOJ if they're going to do anything towards AOC for helping border crossers evade ICE. Then we got a video titled Elon Musk urged to audit the US gold reserves. There's a lot of joking and memes and random X posts going on right now, all suggesting this. It'll be interesting when we have a follow-up video and Elon Musk might actually show us the gold. We'll see. Then we got a video titled Tom Hanks as a racist Trump supporter in a MAGA hat afraid to shake a black man's hand. That's a hell of a title. I believe it's an SNL skit, and they decided to pull Tom Hanks. I don't know if they went out to Greece to get him or how they got him over there, but he's trying to portray a MAGA hat wearing Trump supporter, but then, you know, of course, they got to depict him as some white racist or whatever. Then the last little bit of the news is titled Lefties Losing It, a new low for offensively stupid CBS anchors. And it is, as it sounds, a plethora of videos of the lefties losing their marbles. Then we got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled Big Booty Latinas Can Stay. And then our official funny video of the day is titled Happy President's Day to Donald Trump. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing on this manic Monday. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Russell? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Guessum J? What's up, Josh1776? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Matt? What's up, Sam? What's up, Turbo? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Ghostly, you were first today. And I appreciate you racing in the chat, Ghostly. What's up, Tree Herder? What's up, Tiger Jaw? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Cody? What's up, Screaming Eagle? Happy freedom. I'm late. I was late today. It was very hard to find news because President Trump didn't come to work today, so there wasn't a whole lot going on. What's up, Let's Go Brandon? What's up, Cricket Kiss? What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Sage Pup? Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that $1 donation over on Rumble. Appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Thank you, and happy freedom to you. It says, happy best President's Day ever, hooligans. Appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Let me see. Scrolling through here. Make sure we get everybody. What's up, Decibel? Happy freedom to you. Happy freedom to you. Excuse me. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Disco? What's up, Holly? Happy freedom. What's up, DCat? What's up, Too Old to Care? Appreciate all of you hooligans being here. Hit that like button over on Rumble and see if you get us on the front page. What is up, everyone, over on Kick? I think it's just me and you, Snooks. And what is up, everyone, over on Twitch? Ghostly, you were first over here, too. Appreciate you being omnipresent. What's up, Matt Rogers? You are omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone, over on the communism platform? Matt Rogers, you were first over here, and you are truly omnipresent. What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Damon Walker? Hair Juicer, what are you doing over here? What's up, Magic Moon? What's up, Energy Woman? What's up, Shanti? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Lenny? Wayward, you are omnipresent. Let me see here. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Jerry? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, Dan? Happy freedom. What's up, Vinny? What's up, LaDonna? Happy freedom to you. All right. And what is up, everyone, over on X? Appreciate you being omnipresent, Wayward. All right, hooligans, like I said, let's go ahead and get things started. This first one's titled Trump Administration Tries to Bring Back Fired Nuclear Workers or Nuclear Weapons Workers. Like I said, we covered this either Friday or Saturday. It might have been as late as Thursday, but they just got fired, and now they're being brought back, so we'll see how it goes. Now, before we get into this video, I want to remind you, hooligans, we have these epic winning t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in the chat for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, and I even made tumblers in this design. Today I got on the Happy Freedom with the hooligan badge. We got lots of items and lots of designs over at the merch store. I drop both these links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
Trump administration reverses its decision to terminate hundreds of federal employees who work on the nation's nuclear weapons program.
Yeah, the move now causing major confusion among workers. Nicole D'Antonio in our nation's capital. She's got details.
This morning, officials are trying to rehire some critical nuclear workers, days after nearly 300 employees of the National Nuclear Security Administration were fired. An internal email obtained by ABC News reads, quote, "The termination letters for some NNSA probationary employees are being rescinded, but we do not have a good way to get in touch with those personnel." Hundreds of employees were abruptly laid off late Thursday. Sources say when they attempted to return to their office Friday morning, they found themselves locked out. Other employees lost access to their email accounts before being informed of the termination. Democrats slamming the administration as Elon Musk and his DOGE team work to cut the federal workforce.
They're getting rid of anything in the government that supports consumers, that supports citizens against the ripoff artists who are their friends.
Meanwhile, Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen praising the administration's plan.
We hate that anybody's losing their job, but at the same time, we know that the debt that we have in this country is not manageable, and it's becoming a national security risk. And we're spending nearly $1 trillion a year just in servicing the debt. That is scary.
ABC News has learned DOGE requested access to an IRS data system that retains the personal tax information of millions of Americans. Sources say they have not been granted access yet. To add to the confusion, the administration is acknowledging that some employees who took a buyout offer have been fired or let go in error. An official says the buyout agreement for those workers will be honored. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
All right. So they're trying to get a hold of these federal workers, see if they can bring them back, but they don't tell you why. They don't tell you why this is happening. I watched 4 or 5 videos on this topic. None of them know why they're being brought back. Were they incorrectly terminated? Was there something wrong with it? There's been a lot of lawsuits coming up saying that the way that DOGE and President Trump are laying off employees and firing them and all this stuff is illegal in certain cases, or it's against policy the way that it's done, and all this back and forth and semantics and bullshit added on top. So I don't know if there's some merit to that, and maybe they're trying to bring these guys back because there's going to be blowback for the way that they were fired. It doesn't really say. They're just like, well, they were fired and they were really upset when they left, and we're trying to bring them back, but we don't know how to get a hold of them because we took everything away from them before shoving them out the door. Okay, so we're waiting for these guys to come back, but like I said, we don't really know why. Don't really know why. Let's see here. I also just found out I can't post links in Rumble today. I don't know why that is, and I'm not sure how to fix that. So we'll be working on that as well. Either way, next up we have more than 1,000 people rescued from deadly flash floods in the South. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these federal workers being called back to work, if they can find them. Guess you said blowback. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. What's up, Zero? Happy freedom to you. Turbo gets 6 months free pay and then they get their job back. What the fuck? Yeah, something's gonna have to be straightened out with that. Like I said, there's something weird about the information, the way that they're delivering it. There's like there's a missing piece there. There's something else going on and they're not talking about it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something with Rumble. I don't know what's going on with that. Pumpkin, is it your birthday today? I need some confirmation here. I see everybody saying it, but I don't see you confirming it. I need to know. I got questions. What's up, Zeus Boot? Happy freedom to you. My workplace knows my personal information. Government should definitely know the personal information of people working on nuclear programs. Yeah, you would think so, Zeus Boot. Like I said, it's kind of vague the way that they're talking about it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What's up, Skulls? Happy freedom to you. Cricket Kiss, something's wrong with the Rumble chat? Maybe Rumble's having a problem today. Like I said, I've never had issues posting links in the chat before. And now the chat looks dead. So I don't know what's going on. I do not know. What's up, Dark Watch? Happy freedom to you. How can you possibly hire people to work in our nuclear programs and not know how to contact them? It's a good question, Dark Watch. How'd they even call them in for an interview or anything like that if they don't have their information? What's up, Fitzy? Happy freedom. You can't sign into Rumble right now? Hold on. Maybe Rumble is going through something. Let me see. I don't think I've ever had a live where there was not some sort of technical problem happening. And I'm live every damn day. It's like, I don't know. Something's going on. They're not saying anything's wrong. Let me see. Let's check something. It doesn't say that it's down right now. Apparently it went down. Oh, maybe they're having issues. At 6 o'clock there was a lot of reports that it went down, and at 2 a.m. there was reports that it went down. Right now there isn't anything, but that could change. Weird. I wonder what's going on with Rumble. Snugs, your comments and others are not showing up. Yeah. See, I was posting links and it was telling me something went wrong, but maybe... No, it's not links. Just posting in the chat at all says that there's something wrong. Interesting. I thought it was links, but no, you just can't type in the chat. Weird. Weird. Well, we'll just try to make the best of it. I'm sure Rumble is working on it. Well, it sucks though, because I want to know if I'm supposed to be saying happy birthday to Pumpkin, because I think it's her birthday today. Damn it. What's up, Sherry? Happy Freedom. I thought the judge approved the buyout, okay, the firing. It depends. Every situation's different. And what's weird is that they fired him and they want to bring him back, and it's not saying if they were bringing him back because they shouldn't have been terminated, or if they're bringing them back because there's other reasons why they were fired and now they're coming back maybe under new job titles, or you know what I mean? They're not really giving us all the information here. Go, so your mom was a nuclear engineer? She didn't get fired and all this stuff, right? What's up, Big Daddy? Happy Freedom to you. What's your name? What's up, White Mountain? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, GQ? Happy Freedom. What's up, Christine? Happy Freedom to you. Christine, right? Scary if you can't get a hold of them. It's really weird. It's a weird situation. What's up, Lion's Heart? Happy Freedom to you. I assume we'll have a follow-up with these nuclear workers coming back, especially people being pissed off about it. What's up, Mushroom? Happy Freedom. Well, that sucks that the YouTube or the Rumble chat went down, because I don't pay any attention to YouTube. That's going to make today difficult. Oh well. Whatever is whatever. Corey Luca, is there a story of one of our aircraft carriers being damaged in the Panama Canal? I didn't see anything about that, and I was searching extensively for news. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I didn't see anything about it. What's up, Kelly K? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Garrett? Happy Freedom to you. Holly, Rumble won't let me post. Yeah, I think Rumble's kicking the bucket right now. Tony Rich, appreciate you being omnipresent. Turbo, Rumble's back now. Oh, there we go. Rumble's rolling again. Okay, now somebody tell me, is it Pumpkin's birthday? Do it before the chat breaks again. What's up, Fitzy? You made it. You made it through. Now I'm going to post these links all over again because you guys didn't get them on Rumble. Now watch them. I'm going to break it again right here. That's what I told her. Anyways. There we go. Looks like things are working. What's up, Stoner? Happy Freedom to you. Yes, it is Pumpkin's birthday. Well, happy birthday to you, Pumpkin. I hope today kicks ass for you. Thank you for sharing some of your birthday with us, especially while we're having technical problems over on Rumble. Happy birthday to you, Pumpkin. All right, hooligans, we're going to move on to this next one before anything else breaks. This next one, like I said, is titled More Than 1,000 People Rescued from Deadly Flash Floods in the South. They're saying 11 people have died so far.
Flooding emergency, heavy rain sparking.
There we go. Jesus, I couldn't click the screen. Anyways, lots of flooding going on in multiple states south of me. And like I said, 11 people have kicked the bucket. 1,000 people have been rescued. I don't think FEMA's there. And I wonder how President Trump's going to respond to all of this. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube. And let's get into this.
The flooding emergency, heavy rain sparking deadly flash floods in Kentucky with more than 1,000 people rescued from the rising waters. Alex Perez is in Louisville for us. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. I want you to take a look behind me here. You can see just how swollen the banks of the Ohio River are. This walkway behind me here completely underwater. It's been a long weekend of round-the-clock rescues. Residents here struggling to keep up with the rising waters.
This morning, scenes of deadly and devastating flooding across the southeast. Rescue operations underway in hard-hit Kentucky after at least 9 people were killed, including 1 child, when more than 8 inches of rain battered parts of the state.
Every time we get a good rain, it floods, every time.
Prompting more than 1,000 water rescues.
The water's close to going over the bridge.
You can see those high waters creeping up to this bridge in White Mills, Kentucky.
Road's gone. Oh, this is never going to get big.
In Pikeville, flooding tearing apart roads, an SUV washing off the road into a ditch. And in Jackson, cars left abandoned, the storm leaving them submerged in water.
This is one of the most serious weather events we've dealt with in at least a decade.
President Trump approving an emergency declaration for the state. In Reeve, Tennessee, the levee failing. These aerial videos showing the massive scope of the damage.
That's about 4 hours they've been in the water.
Residents Denny and Karen Stow had to be taken to safety by boat before driving themselves to Union City, Tennessee. They spoke to ABC News from their hotel room.
We're fortunate enough that we can stay at a hotel tonight, but what's going to happen tomorrow, the next night, we don't know.
And complicating things here, the area now bracing for snow and plummeting temperatures as we head into the week. Lindsay?
Another cold one in Tap. All right, thanks so much, Alex.
All right, another natural disaster going on. As you can see, some of the flooding there, it's across multiple states. It is all over social media, especially on TikTok. TikTok is all flood videos right now. But I didn't hear anything about FEMA and President Trump. Well, he was talking about doing away with FEMA because they're worthless. And FEMA's not there helping with the floods and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. Like I said, 11 people dead, 1,000 people rescued. If these floods continue on, I assume that FEMA will show up. And if they don't, is President Trump going to do something about it? Haven't really heard any updates for the people in North Carolina who were victims of the hurricanes, Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene. We know they weren't doing good. FEMA wasn't doing right by them. And then we found out that FEMA was skipping people that had President Trump signs or MAGA flags or anything like that. Again, President Trump was not too impressed with that. After the inauguration, he went to North Carolina and spoke with the families. He also spoke with elected officials and was talking about getting everything restored in western North Carolina because it's still heavily devastated. It looks apocalyptic. And then he went to California for the Palisades fires and did the same thing, met with families of devastated homes, and then went and spoke with the elected officials to try and pave a way for them to restore everything. Now we're seeing West Virginia, Kentucky, I think Tennessee is all affected by these floods. We'll see how bad the damage is in the next couple days. We'll see if FEMA shows up, and if they don't show up, is President Trump going to show up? Is he going to help those people? I assume he will in one way or another if they need it. Kind of surprised if FEMA's not there already though, but either way, like I said, President Trump is not very impressed with those people, and maybe this will be a reason for him to cut them loose. More people getting fired. Next up, President Trump at Daytona 500. We brought the American spirit back in less than 4 weeks. We got 3 videos all related to the Daytona 500. Let me see. We might play. I think we're going to play the first 2 back to back because the third one is kind of a press gaggle where he's answering questions and stuff. It's not so much about the Daytona 500. So I think we'll play the next 2 back to back. And that's how we're going to do things. So we're going to read through the chat really quick, see what you hooligans think about all this flash flooding. Russell, Trump sent an Army Corps of Engineers to North Carolina to rebuild bridges and roads. Badass. Yeah, I'm waiting for, there's going to be some sort of follow-up. Houses being rebuilt or families being moved and stuff like that. Guess damn, all this flooding and FEMA is broke. FEMA's not broke. They just got more money. They were broke, but then rebudgeting happened in December, I think it was, because they were threatening to shut the government down, and they got their heads together and figured out the budget, and part of that was giving money to FEMA for emergency relief. So they have the money now. They can't claim that they're out of money. They did send $59 million to New York for border crossers to live in hotels, even though that wasn't supposed to happen. So, I mean, they had money for that. So I assume they got money for flooding. It's whether or not they want to get off their ass or if they're going to send whatever they have left to more border crossers. Zero and another plane crash in Toronto landed upside down. Everyone walked away. some were hurt, but none dead last I saw. Yeah, I saw that too. It's Canada's problem, so I didn't cover it. I didn't add it to the schedule. If their plane would have crashed here, we would have covered it, but it didn't. Hair juicer, a cargo ship collided with an aircraft carrier. Is that what they were talking about? See, I didn't see anything about that. I'll have to look into it. Tony Rez, happy freedom to you. In Detroit, water main flooded 200 homes today. Holy crap. That sucks. That sucks. It's like 9 degrees outside. Last time I checked, it said it felt like -9 outside. That sucks. That's real bad. Hopefully they get that under the control there. Oh no, Kevin, I hope you don't get a migraine. I hate migraines. Sage Pup, FEMA probably doesn't care enough to try and help with the floods, knowing that they're about to get fired for never being there. Yeah, Sage Pup, and that could be. That could be. And it's rough because it's President's Day right now, so President Trump's in Mar-a-Lago, I believe. Let me check the schedule again. I think that's where he is right now. He's not even in D.C. Yeah, I think he's at Mar-a-Lago. So chances are they're not sending FEMA, at least not today. Cricket Kiss, FEMA sending victims all a roll of paper towel, no worries. Yeah, pretty much. I'd be surprised if they sent them that. Wayward, all that water is heading your way? Well, I hope you stay safe. Page your dad, nobody's laughing at the guys in lifted trucks and donks now. I mean, yeah, page your dad. I guess you're right. It's their time to shine. That's how I feel when I'm out on the road. Everybody's always talking about my lesbian Subaru station wagon. And as soon as it's 10 degrees outside and the sky is falling, I'm the only one doing the speed limit. I'm passing trucks of all, it doesn't matter. Nissans, Fords, Chevys, GMCs, doesn't matter. Passing trucks, SUVs, all of them. Everybody wants to talk shit about Subarus till it's time to do Subaru stuff. I don't know, making them look like sissies. You gotta tuck your hoo-ha in when you sit in your big truck when it snows outside. It's like I just want to laugh at people when I'm passing them just because all the bullshit that I catch the whole rest of the year for driving a Subaru. Oh, Snooks, the collision with the aircraft carrier and all that was last week? Well, that explains why I didn't see it today. What is this, Sam? The Peabody? What is that? Sounds naughty. I'm glad you had a good time, Sam. Gotta worry about that living. What's up, J-Dog? Happy freedom to you. Let's go, Brandon. Snow tires are important. My Tahoe has no issues in deep snow. Yeah, that's true. I'm on 2-year-old radial tires. If I had snow tires, I'd probably be breaking the speed limit in these winter conditions. I don't know. I'm proud of my Subaru. It's been kicking ass this winter. I was kind of thinking about going for something else, but after this winter, nah. The only way I'm getting out of the Subaru is to get into a 4Runner. Of course, I don't have $15,000 to get into a 4Runner. So, Subaru it is. What's up, XB? Happy freedom to you. What's up, FEMA region? Happy freedom. Dark Watch, not sure FEMA is needed for 200 homes. If the city of Detroit can't handle it, shut it down. Yeah, FEMA's not going to show up for Detroit. Detroit could be burning down to the ground and FEMA's not going to show up for Detroit. Vinny, plane crash in Toronto. Wait a minute. Pearson Airport? Wait a minute. Pearson Airport was from Minneapolis. I don't know what you're saying to me. You're saying that it started here and then it crashed in Toronto? Well, nobody died, so I figured it wasn't that important to cover, but, you know, next time I'll put it as a higher priority. Christine, yeah, that's bad. All the frozen people are stuck in their homes in Michigan. Yeah, to have 200 homes get hit with a water main break, that's a big deal. I wonder if all the cars are frozen. There was a water main break that happened somewhere else. It wasn't in Michigan. It was in another state. And I can't remember what state it was, but it showed the cars and they were covered in like 6 inches of ice. Like they couldn't open the doors or do anything. It was just giant ice blocks sitting on the street because a fire hydrant or something had exploded, and it was for hours. It was raining down on these cars parked on the side of the street, and it sounds like that's what is happening in Detroit. What's up, Zach? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, hair juicer. I was wondering what happened. Well, I'm not going to talk about it on the live, but that situation you post in the general chat is really crazy. Tony Rez, that plane is upside down is weird. It is weird. Happy freedom, Matthew. Appreciate you being with us. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, we're going to play these videos back to back because they're pretty short. First one's titled President Trump at Daytona 500. We brought the American spirit back in less than 4 weeks.
Spot.
Hold on a second, lady. And the second video is President Trump doing some laps. Come on, thing. Bam. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Like I said, we got 2 Trump videos here. This first one's titled President Trump at Daytona 500. We brought the American spirit back in less than 4 weeks. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
Spot. What brings you back to the great American race?
Well, I think it's fantastic. It's great for the country. Our country is doing well again, and we have spirit all over the world. There's spirit again. We brought it back, and it's been less than 4 weeks. So you'll see what we do in a little period of time. It's going to only get better, but this is very exciting.
You brought your granddaughter. I know some of your other family members are here. You get to take a ride around in the Beast. What is that like?
I'll let you know in about 2 minutes because they're going to be going quite quickly, I understand.
And you just got to meet some of the drivers. Are you going to get on the radio again and talk to them before the start of this?
Them, and I say they have a lot of courage doing this. It's I see it, and I've been here, and they have a lot of guts, as they would say.
Mr. President, enjoy your time.
Thank you very much. Great.
Bye.
Thank you, Jamie. What a day in Daytona, the 67th annual Daytona 500.
All right. Now, like I said, we're going to play this next video just back to back. This is President Trump. Now, apparently he did 2 laps at the Daytona, and here's a little footage from it.
And Mr. President, the radio is yours.
This is your favorite president. I'm a big fan. I am a really big fan of you people that you do this. I don't know, but I just want you to be safe. You're talented people, and you're great people and great Americans. Have a good day. Have a lot of fun, and I'll see you later.
So, yeah, as you can see, President Trump there doing some laps at the Daytona 500. Now, on Saturday, there was people upset that President Trump was going at all. They felt that he was wasting our tax dollars by needing the extra security to go to the Daytona 500, and he should have kept his ass at home. Now, not everybody felt that way, but apparently those opinions exist out there, and I mean, I could imagine, you know, feeling some type of way. I guess I feel indifferent about it because I know DOGE is saving us a ton of money. With that being said, let's pull up the national debt clock and see what DOGE is doing for us right now. So as you can see in the top right or top left corner there, the gold time ticker, it says DOGE clock, 160 billion doll hairs already saved. It's pretty good stuff. It almost seems like it goes up 10 billion a day. I don't know, making that money. So with that being said, I'm not too bent out of shape that President Trump went to Daytona 500. Glad he had a good time. Everybody enjoyed him there. I never heard anything about anybody booing him, anything at all. No more let's go Brandon or any of that bullshit was happening. People were excited to see the president. I seen him shaking hands with what looked like some military personnel. I guess he also went and spoke with some drivers and things like that. And I like seeing the president, and I think he's very entertaining. So I'm not really bent out of shape about him going to Daytona 500. But you hooligans, let me know, how do you feel about President Trump spending some tax dollars to go and do the thing and see the American people? Also, did you watch the Daytona 500? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Were you accepting of who the winner was? I saw a video, but I don't know any NASCAR people, so to me, he was just some white guy. But anyways, let me know how you hooligans feel about it. Like I was saying, we got one more video coming up with President Trump. Well, we probably got more in this now I'm thinking about it. But either way, this is in relation to Daytona 500. It's titled President Trump Gaggles with the Press After Leaving the Daytona 500. So I believe he talks about the Daytona 500 in this interview kind of situation, this gaggle with press. But he's going to be answering questions and stuff, and it's going to give us like kind of a plethora of answers on a variety of topics. So it's coming up next. But first, I'm going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about President Trump at the Daytona 500. Matt Rogers, this is your favorite president? Absolutely. Russ, I'd love to do a lap at the Daytona. It seems pretty badass. Snooks, Trump is not taking the White House pay, so yes, I'm glad he went. Yeah, I'm not really mad that he went. Like I said, I think he's entertaining. So the more he's on TV, the more I'm entertained by it. He's a really funny guy, so I don't know. I'm not mad at it. I'm okay with Trump doing laps. Was kind of neat to see the best on the track, or the beast on the track. Yeah. And he was saying in the interview, he's like, I guess we're going to be going pretty fast. I was like, I wonder how fast. They look like they were cruising. I don't think they were doing 100 miles an hour or anything like that. But yeah. Sam, Trump is a great POTUS. I think so too. Dang, Sam, you styling. Look at those floors. That place looks really nice. You got a nice shirt on. I want to get a nice shirt like that. I'd just be wearing t-shirts all day. It's not a competition, Sam. You dress down a little bit, man. Sam, I've not felt the same about NASCAR since Dale Earnhardt got killed. See, and I heard a lot about that, but because I don't know much about NASCAR, obviously it wasn't that impacting to me. But I know that it was impacting to a lot of people, especially for so much time to have passed and people still talk about it. So I know that it was a big deal when it happened. Russell, you're a fan of Dale Earnhardt too? MU, I'm glad he goes to events. I am too. I feel like that makes him more relatable as a president. You know, if he just hid away in his castle all day and ate golden chicken nuggets, well, it's really hard to relate to that. But he goes and he hangs out, you know, at various locations, events that people love to go to, right? The Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, things like that, and it makes him more relatable. Plus, it's a big deal for the people who get to go. You know, they get to go to the Super Bowl. That's pretty badass. You get to go to the Super Bowl and see the president. That's pretty cool, right? Same thing for Daytona 500. Pretty cool to go see it, have something to do over the weekend. Bam, president shows up. That's pretty badass. I mean, that's an experience that you'll never forget. Ghostly, she looked like she was having a blast. Talking about President Trump's granddaughter. Yeah, I bet she was. Holly, President Trump has done more in 1 month than the rest have done in 4 years. Absolutely, he's been working his ass off. I was saying this either Saturday or Friday. He's going to get everything done in 1 year, and then he's just going to be sitting on his ass the next 3 years because everything's going to be done. I don't even have a problem with that. Zupia, I thought it was interesting that he was wearing a MAGA hat that he signed. Oh, I didn't notice that. That is pretty interesting. Cricket Kiss, DOGE is exposing corrupt judges and politicians, taking tax money through NGOs. Yeah. We have a video with Representative Burchett, and he talks a little bit about that stuff. What's a film? What matters? Happy freedom to you. C1, no Twitch today? We were live on Twitch. Did Twitch smoke us? No, we're still live on Twitch. We're there. I just refreshed it. If I got smoked, they'd sign me out. Non-woke. Way cooler than Biden falling off a bike. I agree. I agree. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. J-Dog, Daytona 500 is an American classic. Our president should be there. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Holy stoner. Hope it was a good one. Yes. And you're probably looking at me while you did it, you nasty. Snooks Twitch is fine. Thank you for letting me know, Snooks. Let me see. Turbo, yeah, he's not riding around Delaware on a goofy-ass bike, falling over and slobbering on ice cream and little kids. Yeah, thank God, Turbo. I wonder what movie he's going to be in, because remember we covered after he left the White House, he got together with some, like, movie publicity team or something like that from Hollywood, and apparently that's what Barack and Michael Obama did when they left the White House. They got involved with this Hollywood team that's supposed to be like an agent, like a Hollywood agent, to try and get you into movies and TV shows and stuff. And apparently Old Man Walter did that, so, you know, waiting to see him pop up in a commercial sniffing kids or something. Zeusboot, could you imagine if he kept up the peace all 4 years, though? Yeah, Zeusboot, well, he's very proactive. Other presidents just talk. They just do a bunch of talking, but he gets stuff done. He does stuff and then talks about it. There's not, like, he did the campaign to do all the build-up. Since he's been in office, he's just been doing things and then telling us about it afterwards. And so I really think he could make enough change to where things will be better than they've ever been and still have 3 years to just hang out and do nothing. Just, you know, America's great. Now it's just time to maintain it. I believe he could do it. What's up, Master Meatball? Happy freedom to you. Master Meatball, so Trump is not taking the presidential Saturday again? I don't know what you mean by that, Master Meatball. What is the presidential Saturday? What's up, Mana? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Phillips? Happy freedom. What's up, Proud Patriot Girly? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Samson? Amazing Disgrace? Yeah, Rumble's working again. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, it's rolling. Christine, some would rather have him staying in the basement, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of people who do not like seeing President Trump out there having fun. They feel like he's spending our tax dollars, but I'm not mad at it. What's up, Lusk? Happy freedom. What's up, SGW? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for joining us. What's up, everything? Happy freedom to you. I don't like the point system. Now it is much. Wait a minute. What? I don't. You must be responding to somebody else. I don't know what you mean by the point system. MTG was there and ran that salami. They were both at the Daytona 500. Interesting, because I didn't see anything about either of those guys. I haven't seen Ram That Salami since he announced that he was going to be running for governor of Ohio. And I don't really hear anybody from MAGA talk about Ram That Salami anymore. MTG, she's now she's the director or something like that of the subcommittee of DOGE. She was doing some DOGE report sometime last week. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning, though. I don't know why they did that. Hopefully they start doing things later. Because I remember when Old Man Walter and them would do the C-19 reports and make changes and stuff, and they would do it at like 7, 8 in the morning. So nobody saw it. And they'd put out new mandates, and you wouldn't even know it. You'd wake up, and there'd be like new rules you had to abide by. And they always did it like that because they were trying to be secretive. There's like slipping things in the middle of the night. And so, I don't know. Next time they do the DOGE report, hopefully they do it a little later in the day. Oh, I see what you're saying, Snooks. I thought Stoner was fancying me. That hurts my self-esteem. Ghostly. Ram had his shot and he stepped down because it just wasn't enough for him. He could have worked with Elon, but nah, he fucked off. Yeah, it's true. He could have worked with Elon, but the thing is I don't think Doge is big enough for both of their egos. It's, you know, the room ain't big enough for both of them. Screaming Eagle, I don't know the difference. I'm not a specialist on that salami. MU, love that the grandkids love their grandpa. Yeah. It's cool to see the whole family up there living it up. Snooks, why are you putting Stoner's business out there like that? Don't do that. Don't do that, Snooks. It's okay if Stoner likes little feeties. Okay, that's fine. Everybody's got to use their Lamber feeties every now and then. What's up, Harley Davidson? Happy freedom to you. Agent O, I think Doge Tech was over Ram's head. Probably. That probably is what it was. That makes sense when you say it like that. What's up, Teasel? Happy freedom. Kelly K, yeah, he's Mr. Ram that salami. I didn't name him, his mama did. What's up, Gen X? Happy freedom to you. Alright, hooligans, we're going to go ahead and move forward. Like I said, this next one is President Trump gaggles with the press after leaving the Daytona 500. There's going to be a plethora of things here and plenty of plane noise, as you can hear. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get this rolling.
So Daytona was fantastic. The crowd was amazing. The people love that sport, and they're wonderful people that run it. And they had a little rain delay, but we'll go home and watch it, I guess, or some of you will, and others will try and create peace throughout the world. Do you have any questions, please?
Sir, did you speak to Secretary Rubio this morning?
I did.
What is the latest with the negotiations in Saudi Arabia? What's he taking?
We're moving along. We're trying to get a peace with Russia, Ukraine, and we're working very hard on it. It's a war that should have never started.
Do you expect Zelensky to be involved in these conversations? What will his role be?
I do. He will be involved, yes.
Mr. President, would you allow the Europeans to buy U.S.-made weapons for Ukrainians?
Yeah.
So Zelensky said today that Russia is going to wage war on NATO. Do you agree with that? Do you have any concerns about?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Not even a little bit.
Vice President Vance said that the United States would potentially take military action against Russia if they won't come to an agreement. Do you agree with that stance?
I don't know if that's what he said. I don't think he said that.
Based on your conversations with President Putin, what do you think he wants ultimately in Ukraine?
I think he wants to stop fighting. I see that. We spoke long and hard. Steve Witkoff was with him for a very extended period, like about 3 hours. I think he wants to stop fighting. They have a big, powerful machine. You understand that. And they defeated Hitler and they defeated Napoleon. You know, they've been fighting a long time. They've done it before. And but I think he'd like to. I think he would like to stop fighting.
Do you think he wants the whole of Ukraine, or just what do you think he wants in terms of territory?
No, I think he wants to stop. That was my question to him, because if he's going to go on, that would have been a big problem for us, and that would have caused me a big problem because you just can't let that happen. I think he wants to end it, and they want to end it fast, both of them, and Zelensky wants to end it too.
Sir, when do you think that could actually happen? When do you think the fighting can stop?
Well, we're working to get it done. I mean, you know, it's too bad it started. It would have been a lot easier to end it before it started, right? But it started because we had an incompetent president that he didn't know what he was doing. That should have never started. That war was so easy to stop. Remember this, that under Bush, they took a lot. Under Obama, they took a lot. Under Biden, they're trying to take the whole thing. And under Trump, they took nothing. Nothing was gone. Not even a little bit. So it's too bad. It's really too bad. A lot of people are dead right now that should be alive, and a lot of cities are destroyed that can never come back like they were. Those beautiful golden domes and all of the multicolored domes that were 1,000 years old, they're all laying in, you know, just shattered. So it's very sad. They ruined the culture.
They're beginning phase 2 of the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. What's going on there? Have you been briefed on the latest relating to that?
Well, I told you I have been briefed. I told Bibi, you do whatever you want because, my statement was they got to come back. Now, the reason I made that statement because they said they weren't going to deliver, they were not going to deliver the people that they said they were going to deliver, that they agreed to deliver. And they did agree to do that, but they broke that agreement. When I made the statement, they delivered everybody plus an American. Now, the good news is they look like they're in pretty good shape because the people from the week before didn't look like they were in good shape. They looked like Holocaust survivors, frankly. Horrible. Whatever happened to them was horrible. But that'll be up to Israel what the next step is in consultation with me.
So what are you to use these weapons for that you've now allowed to be shipped? Given the fact that there's this ceasefire supposed to be in effect, why ship those big bombs now?
Peace through strength. You understand that, right? It's called peace through strength. They contracted for those weapons a long time ago in the Biden administration, and then Biden wouldn't deliver the weapons. But I look at it differently. I say peace through strength. They were sitting there. Nobody knew what to do with them. They bought them. But I believe in that very strongly.
So do you have an update on your... The European Union is talking about banning food imports from the U.S., kind of along the lines of your reciprocal tariffs. It's like the reciprocal tariffs. They don't like the pesticides.
All right, I don't mind. Let them do it. Let them do it. They're just hurting themselves if they do that. I can't imagine it, but it doesn't matter. We're having reciprocal tariffs. Whatever they charge, we charge. Very simple. If a certain country like India, which is very high tariff, if they charge us X dollars, we charge them X dollars. It's all right. It's a fair thing to do. Even the media said it was fair. And it's going to be very good for the United States.
Do you have an update on your timing of your meeting with Putin in Saudi Arabia?
No, there's no time set, but it could be very soon.
Like this month?
Well, it'll be soon. We'll see what happens. But they're meeting right now. And that's more. I mean, this should have been done 4 years ago, 3 years ago before it started, but it should have been done immediately after it started, as opposed to now, 3 years later.
Egg prices have reached an all-time high. What's your administration? Egg prices have reached an all-time high.
It was before I ever got here, it was at an all-time. This didn't start. Remember, I've been here for 3 weeks. And when you saw the inflation numbers, I've been here for 3 weeks. I have had nothing to do with inflation. This was caused by Biden. I had 4 years of virtually no inflation. So I'm just taking over. But I'll tell you what, this country has made more progress in the last 3 weeks than it's made in the last 4 years. And we're respected again as a country. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, guys, let's go.
All right, President Trump there after leaving the Daytona 500, meeting with press, answering questions, which is still pretty nice after 4 years of watching old man Walter shuffle around and embarrass us. Like I said, plethora of answers there, most of it about Hamas and all that crap, overseas nonsense. I guess Israel hit them with a missile or a drone or something. I don't know. I've seen something about it, but I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to foreign problems. But either way, President Trump, like I said, after Daytona 500. Next up, we got protesters urge Governor Hochul to remove New York City Mayor Eric Adams from office. Now, these lunatics out here believe that President Trump is holding Mayor Eric Adams hostage, and he's making him sing and dance like he's pulling the strings. And they want Mayor Eric Adams fired because they think he's been compromised. He's no longer blue team. He's, I don't know. He's not as corrupt as he used to be, and they don't like it. So either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about President Trump talking with the press. Josh1776, we'll crack a chapstick here in a little bit. Tom, happy freedom to you. Tom says, Jeff's got those Subarus. I love that so much. I'm going to use that from now on. Yeah, when you ain't got the Lamborghinis, you got the Subarus. Love that. Josh1776, I don't even have my headset on. I can hear the airplanes. Insane. Yeah. pretty loud in that video. Sometimes it's so loud you can't hear what President Trump is saying, but we had okay audio in that one. Told the care, show us the gold. That's right. Hopefully Elon does get that worked out. It'd be really interesting to see the gold reserve and see if there's actually gold in there. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate the compliment. Holly, I'm willing to bet 90% of them are pedos, and same goes for Hollywood and Disney. Yeah, and the music industry. That's, you got to add the music industry in there too. What's up, Elder Zoomer? Happy freedom to you. Screaming Eagle, at least President Trump doesn't need a teleprompter. Yeah, well, that's why he doesn't need to run away from the press. He's got actual thoughts in his head. J-Dog, gold went to the politicians' personal accounts. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Ghost, ain't no gold in there. We'd be selling it to ET. I wonder how long it's been gone. I don't believe there's gold in there, but I just wonder how long it's actually been gone. Holly, Kathy Hochul should be in prison. I don't know anything about Hochul. Has she done anything directly wrong other than run New York into the ground? Ghostly, ever seen the movie Battlefield Earth? No, I don't think so. Pumpkin, I want to see all the money they saved in big piles. I do too. I'm ready for accountability. They need to bring it on. Non-woke Trump is rocking that hat in liberal faces. Yeah, they can't even see it though because they're crying so hard. Pumpkin, Trump's cabinet will be completed. I wonder when they're going to be voting for Kash Patel. Is it going to be tomorrow? I mean, nothing's happening today because it's President's Day. But I wonder if tomorrow, if they'll actually confirm Kash Patel. Well, thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. Sam, no, I didn't see that. There's a lot of hands being thrown in hockey. Anytime I've seen hockey, our news stations or whatever, they pan away. They'll like go to commercials when they start throwing hands. But I guess over in Canada, they don't do that. They like zoom into the fights. I don't know why it's like that. Everybody knows Americans love violence. You see the UFC. I don't know why they pan away when hockey players start throwing hands. What's up, Highplains Drifter? Happy freedom to you. Ghostly, Battlefield Earth is a movie. It basically is what Scientology believes. Aliens made humans to mine gold for them. Interesting, Ghostly. Battlefield Earth. I will have to check that out because I've never heard of that before. Holly, follow the money. That's right. Trail of breadcrumbs. Screaming Eagle, Fort Knox is empty. Where's the audit? Well, that's what they're saying, and that's why Elon's bringing it up. I guess the last time they did an audit was a very long time ago. It's not like a yearly audit like everybody else goes through. It was a long time ago, like 50, 60 years ago. And who knows what they even found then. What's up, Vartesia? Happy freedom to you, if that's how you say your name. Appreciate you being with us. Sherry, I have not seen any footage on Kash Patel's questioning. Trying to think, not Saturday because they weren't there Saturday. Friday, they were talking with Kash Patel and all of that, but they weren't voting on it. RFK Jr., I think, was confirmed Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday. So now it's like we're just waiting on Kash Patel. I think there's actually a few people that haven't been confirmed yet, but Kash Patel's the last big one. Those other people that haven't been confirmed, I don't even know who they are or what the department is that they're going to be signing up for. Just waiting on Kash. Oh, Master Meatball, you meant salary. Trump is not taking the presidential salary again. I don't know for sure. I see people in the chat saying that, Master Meatball, but I don't know for sure if President Trump's taking the salary or not. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't, because he has no problem making money, and that was something that kind of gave him favor his first term. was he wasn't taking that paycheck, and a lot of Americans respected him for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he made the same move again. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy freedom to you. Man, Trump probably can't ride a bike, but the dance off a stage without falling over. I bet Trump could probably ride a bike. I don't know how graceful it would be, but yeah. Lion's Heart, Fort Knox carries 17,000 tons of gold, and an average ton of gold is like 60 million. That's just a drop in the bucket. I would even say the Biden administration gave more to the Ukraine. Yeah, probably. I'm trying to think. I think in the video they tell you how much is supposed to be in there, and it's done by weight. Man, Trump's a billionaire. He don't need a salary. Yeah. That's true. Wayward. I watched NASCAR when I was a kid. I like Jeff Gordon's car. That's all I remember. I'm in the same boat, Wayward. When I found out about NASCAR, there was somebody named Jeff Gordon. Me being a Jeff, I was like, that's probably the guy to go. Like, that's the guy you back. And then never watched NASCAR after that. So that's the only racer I know. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon. It's like, but I've never watched anybody race, really. Snooks are going to continue with Patel tomorrow. Good. Josh 1776 depends on the bike. I bet you if that bike had blonde hair, he could ride it. Anyways, moving forward here. Like I said, this next one's titled, Protesters Urge Governor Hochul to remove New York City Mayor Eric Adams from office. Now, like I said, these idiots, they're crying really hard for Mayor Eric Adams, and they literally say that he's being held hostage by President Trump. I love it. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
Developing now, Mayor Adams continuing to tell New Yorkers that he's not going anywhere as he faces growing calls to step down. And earlier this morning, a group actually gathered at City Hall to protest the mayor's position. Fox 5's Morgan McKay is live in Lower Manhattan with the very latest on all of this. Morgan.
Hey, Bianca. Reportedly, several of Mayor Eric Adams' deputy mayors are considering stepping down. Several sources tell me it's a question of when, not if. Now, reportedly, these deputy mayors are concerned over comments that Adams has made about President Donald Trump's administration, telling commissioners not to be critical of Trump and telling others to not be critical of the immigration status that Adams is currently working through. So now reports, federal prosecutors have now filed to drop the charges against Adams, but it'll be up to the judge in this case to formally dismiss the charges, something that still hasn't happened yet. The Justice Department is recommending dropping the criminal charges without prejudice, which means that the charges could be revisited at any point. Now, critics say this means Adams will be in President Donald Trump's pocket, and despite these concerns, Adams has been following the Trump administration's request to crack down on illegal immigration. Governor Kathy Hochul said she's speaking with leaders around the state about the possibility of starting the process to remove Adams. A coalition of left-leaning groups rallied in front of City Hall this afternoon, calling on Hochul to take action.
Governor of New York to grow a spine and stand up to Donald Trump. First, that means removing a mayor that has been compromised and is being held hostage by the President of the United States and is selling us all out.
Now, also over the weekend, Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, a top Democrat in the state Senate, she did call on Adams to resign. And just now, Bianca, we're going to be heading over to Brooklyn, where Adams is holding a surprise campaign rally, just spur of the moment here. So we're going to go try to catch that. Reporting live outside City Hall, I'm Morgan McKay. Bianca, back to you.
Thanks, Morgan. Hopefully.
She made it. She made it. That woman sounded like she was suffering through that news thing. It was like her first time ever experiencing cold weather. You be all right, lady. You be all right. It ain't even that damn cold outside. Doing all that hooting and hollering. You can tell who didn't get their ass whipped when they were little. Anyways, next up we got DOGE is uncovering a lot more than wasteful spending, says Representative Tim Burchett. In this video, they're going to be talking about how we're sending the Taliban $40 million a week for no reason. And it could be more than that. There's all kinds of stuff they're going to talk about in this next video. But first, we're going to hop in the chat. See what you hooligans think about that struggling reporter. These dumbass protesters claiming that President Trump has held Mayor Eric Adams hostage and he's pulling the strings. All this crazy stuff in that last video. Like I said, hopping in the chat. These people are off their rocker. They always got something to cry about. Sam, someone had her vibrator remote. I'm saying. She was having a hard time. Josh 1776, why do Dems think being loud makes them correct? Something about their mentality. It's just the way they are. If they're loud and they smell bad, then they win. Russell Adams was absolutely thrown under the bus by the Dems. Yeah. And that's what's going on, is now that he's going along with President Trump's agenda, now the Dems are turning on him. But I don't really think Eric Adams has anything to lose in the situation anyways, because he was already playing the blue team puppet. And he filled his city full of illegals. They started raping, killing, kidnapping, steal, just on and on and on, the whole list of crimes you could think of. And he was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. We need help from the federal government. Biden was like, eat shit. And he was like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? Biden was like, figure it out, bud. And so Eric Adams was like, okay, this ain't working. We're not getting money from the federal government. So then he started talking bad about Biden. Well, then Biden sent the DOJ after him to say that Eric Adams was accepting donations from the Turkish government. And that's what brought on those corruption charges. And they've been hunting him down ever since. They've been raiding his house, taking his electronic devices, raiding his staffers' houses and taking their electronic devices as well. I want to say his campaign fundraiser person was only like 24 years old or 26 years old, which I think is a little bit too young for that position, but that's just my opinion. She was the first one to get raided. She got raided before he did. And we saw when we covered President Trump before the election where he went to that fancy dinner and his bow tie and all the deal. Hina Harris didn't even show up. She did the skit with the superstar woman or whatever, and they played that goofy video during the dinner. But either way, President Trump was relating to Eric Adams saying, oh, yeah, the government's sending the DOJ after you. You like that? Because I don't like it. And, they were joking back and forth, relating to each other. Now Biden's gone. Trump's in charge. Eric Adams has those corruption charges dropped. And he said that he's willing to work with President Trump. He's willing to work with ICE. He's willing to get the city cleaned up. And now all of a sudden, the Democrats are out here pissing themselves in the streets. And the Democrat officials are turning their backs on Eric Adams, considering him compromised because he is no longer corrupt. Or at least that's the walk he's walking right now. So, I don't know. I'm sure we'll have a follow-up video. I wonder if they'll actually out him, though. I wonder if they'll make Eric Adams resign or something like that. Guess did I hear lowlife? Yeah, we got President Trump calling them lowlifes. Josh 1776, is the reporter dead ass crying over this? No, she's just never been cold a day in her life. It's her first time experiencing wind. Sam, damn, is she all right? I know. It gets bad when they cut away from her and they're showing like Eric Adams and the protesters. She's like sniffling in the background. She's having a hard time. Screaming Eagle, Adams has been pulled aside and given an ultimatum. That's what I think has happened too. Holly, you'll see so many people turn on each other. You'll see people run. You will see mass self-deletion and murders on the left. Nah, I've been covering it for years. I've been covering it for years. I've been watching it. I've been doing this so long that I've watched the left eat themselves. Then I watched the right eat themselves. And now we're getting back to watching the left eat themselves. And that's why I don't play teams. I remember when I started, everyone's like, you're going to have to pick a side. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That's the side I'm on. And people are like, no, that's not good enough. You need to be a Republican or a Democrat. Why? Why do I got to do that? Those aren't my labels. I'm not taking on other people's labels, throwing it on like a coat. No, thank you. Yeah, we're just, that's how it goes. We go one way, we hit the wall, and then we start going the other way. And right now we're getting back to the lefties eating each other. The summertime is going to be interesting because all these people right now, they're fueling the fire for reasons for protests. Now, I don't think we'll have riots like we had in the George Floyd days, but I think we are going to see protesting and stuff like that this summer. Now, it's been a while since we had a lefty set themselves on fire for some foolish cause that they believe in, but I think we'll have more of that coming up too. That's just where we are in the timeline here. I didn't realize you guys didn't like Jeff Gordon so much. Last time I seen him or heard his name or anything, I was like 8 or 10 or something like that. And I brought that up and you guys are like, fuck that guy. Holly, it's going to be a very long 4 years for them. That's right, Holly. Kevin, the blizzard here. Now RCMP are telling people to stay off the roads. Yeah, I figured it would be like that. Joel DeCare, no side. Truth, common sense, and freedom. Absolutely. J-Dog, I'm a Trumplican. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Rapper, they're going to protest for the next 4 years? I think they will. I'm waiting to see how Soros is going to get involved in all of this because he's got his 200 new radio stations that is using to dox undercover ICE agents. And so I'm waiting to see how they start structuring these protests. Last school year, there was a ton of pro-Hamas protesters overwhelming the college campuses, and it began this school year as well, but it's really died down. It's not happening like it was last school season, so it makes me think that the protesters are getting ready for something else. They're not going to go away. We got more protesters right now in the 4th week of President Trump being in office than we've had in the last 4 years. And so I think it is going to get spicy this summer. I don't think it's going to be George Floyd days spicy, but it's going to be entertaining. I know that. Disco. Jeff Gordon was okay, I think. He was pretty good, if I remember. He won a few championships. Well, there's a lot of people in the chats, plural, saying that he was promoting gay stuff, that he was reckless and put lives in danger. I've seen a couple different comments about him. I didn't know anything about that. J-Dog, Mayor Eric Adams says he's still a Democrat. Yeah, he hasn't switched teams, but he definitely seems to be doing things by a different set of rules. You know, he used to be defending the border crossers. Now he's trying to get rid of them, and that's why everybody's turning on him. Cricket Kiss. Owen Schroyer is there. Owen Schroyer's where? Pumpkin, they can't stop. They don't know how. Yeah, that's what I think too. They're ripping their eyes out over President Trump doing nothing but good things for all of us. And they're mad about it. Ah, man, he's making America great again. They're all bent out of shape. It'll be all right. Zupia, I'd have to delete myself if I was half as soft and stupid as those people. I feel the same way, Zupia. Who wants to live a life of misery like that? Holly, you're America first. That's all that matters. Absolutely, Holly. Tony Rez, Jeff Gordon won 7 championships, but he was a terrible person in real life. That's unfortunate, Tony Rez. At least he was good at driving, though, I suppose. Disco, Gordon's sponsor was DuPont Paint. He called himself the Rainbow Warrior, but I don't think he was gay. Oh, I see, Disco. Maybe Maybe people are confused by it. Like I said, I didn't watch the stuff, so I don't really have an opinion on NASCAR or Jeff Gordon or any of these people. Guess I'm not reading that out loud. He didn't drive no Subaru. You just trying to hurt my feelings here. Snugs, there was an anti-Trump and anti-Elon protest in Cali and DC today. Yeah, I saw that. They're marching in Denver and in Portland when I started the live, but there wasn't a lot of people. There was a lot of people in DC, but these other protests that were going on, there's not a lot of people. And by the time I went live, the protest in DC was already over. Too old to care. All I know about NASCAR, I learned from Ricky Bobby. Me too, too old to care. If you ain't first, you're last. And that's all you need to know about NASCAR. Sam, I haven't seen it yet. It's on my to-do list. I'm looking forward to watching it. Everybody's saying that Tombstone is really good. J-Dog, I want to buy a townhouse in Gaza. Why? That might be a house I can actually afford. What's up, Pag? Happy freedom to you. The louder they scream, the quieter they are. They're a bunch of losers. It's going to be interesting when it's summertime. Harley Davidson, did you see the BS in Utah and the Nazi flags? No. Are they wearing red and black? Because those Nazis ain't even real Nazis. I don't think they're Fed boys, but I think they're Antifa playing Clubhouse. Harley Davidson, my question is, why are they doing a report in the wind? I don't know. If that woman couldn't handle standing outside, they should have stuck her inside of a building somewhere. I mean, there must have been a Starbucks somewhere out there for her to stand inside. I've never heard anybody so, like, suffering so hard while doing a report. What's up, Bullseye? Happy freedom. Second place is just the first loser. That's right, Bullseye. White Mountain. I just heard that a judge with a 9th Court circuit just threw out 84 of Biden's pardons. That's interesting. I will definitely look into that. Thank you for letting me know. What's up, Ron J? Happy freedom to you. Happy freedom, Steve S. What's up, Pesky? Happy freedom to you. Cletus McFarland making NASCAR great again. I don't know anything about NASCAR. What's up, Too Real? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Time Travel? Happy freedom to you. Time Travel. I'm a libertarian, but I'm pro-law and pro-constitution. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I don't really play the labels game. I just, whatever's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and everybody's free to be whoever they want to be as long as they're not hurting another person. And that's really how I roll through life. What's up, Shane? Happy freedom to you. The Doge caravan is sweeping through the nation. I know, it's got a lot of people bent out of shape, but I'm excited about it. Prop Picture Girly, no. I have not got an email from you. I'll check. I don't know why I haven't been getting notifications. Sublime Beard, happy freedom. Make asylums great again. We need to open them back up. We got a bunch of contestants willing to go play the game. Rob, Democrats do a fine job offering themselves up for sale all by themselves. And they do. I don't know why they like it so much. I'm Janet. Happy freedom to you. Vinny, U.S. Special Forces are going into Mexico to take on the drug cartels. Well, it's about time. It's about time. We'll see how that goes. They just started reporting that the cartels are using drones to attack border agents as well as other cartels, which I didn't even know there was other cartels. And I figured that's enough, and that's enough. Enough's enough. So we'll see how it goes. I wonder what sparked it off. They said that they were going to start fighting back against the cartels. I was kind of waiting for something to happen. They were going to hurt a bunch of Border Patrol agents, or hurt one of them, or kill one of them, and then the blowback would be severe. I was waiting for it, but if they're going to go in and take care of things, then good on them. Holly, I didn't know judges could do that. I've never heard of it either. That's why I got to look into it. What's up, Metal Mouth? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Boosted Flames? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Pro Gun? Happy freedom. You hooligans, hit that like button on these platforms. We need to get these likes up. All right, we're going to get into this next video. Like I said, there's going to be a few different topics that they talk about. It's all relating to Doge, but they got more details on how we've been, well, we didn't do this, okay? How the people on Capitol Hill have been wasting our tax dollars. It's titled, Doge is Uncovering a Lot More Than Wasteful Spending, says Representative Tim Burchett. And in this video, they're going to be talking about how we're sending the Taliban $40 million a week for no reason, and we might actually be sending them more than that. And like I said, they're going to talk about a few things that Doge is uncovering. Now, like I just mentioned, hit that like button over on CommuTube as well as Rumble, and let's get into this.
The so-called Department of Government Efficiency that really is the Department of Government Efficiency for Elon Musk, not for you.
War on waste. At the DOGE Oversight Subcommittee hearing, we heard some strong stances from the very start. More scrutiny on the temporary agency is to be expected. And joining us now is Representative Tim Burchett of Tennessee, who was there at the subcommittee meeting this past week. Representative, always good to see you. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you, Natasha. It's a pleasure being here with you, ma'am.
Subcommittee Chairwoman Marjorie Taylor Greene vowing to fight the war on waste. What did you take away from the DOGE Oversight Subcommittee meeting this past week?
Well, I thought it was very informative. We had the Democrats, of course, spent all their time attacking President Trump and Elon Musk, and the Republicans, I felt like we asked legitimate questions about the waste, abuse, and overspending of our government. $36 trillion in debt. You can't get past that. And, we're getting a lot of complaints from federal employees that are saying that they have to show back up for work, that they still haven't been going back since COVID, things like that. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I think the name calling and everything else will continue, because the Democrats are chasing their tail right now. This DOGE thing, it's uncovering a whole lot more than that. It's billions and billions of dollars that we're sending to terrorist organizations, and you got to wonder some of this money if it's not flowing right back into the back pockets of some politicians in Washington. And I think that's why the number one search this week on the Washington area computers was criminal defense attorneys.
Tell me more about something you just mentioned. Which terrorist organizations and what monies have we been sending to them?
Well, actually, I have a bill to stop it. The Taliban gets $40 million a week that we know of through aid. And Congressman Perry actually brought forth some more, where we think it's in the billions of dollars to some of these terrorist organizations. And it's and the money's not really being laundered that well. The bills that I have deal with, we're sending money, so-called aid, but as you know, money is very fungible. It flows into their bank accounts, and then they are forced to turn over a cut off the top. The Lord just takes 10% out of the top with tithe. Mob takes a good chunk when they do it, but the Taliban, they just get theirs right off the top, right out of the bank. So, and we couldn't even get Chuck Schumer and the Democrats last go around when he was in charge. We couldn't even get them to bring the bill up. It passed unanimous in the House. So there's a podcaster named Sean Ryan out of Nashville area. He's a former Navy SEAL, CIA operative, and he brought that to my attention through another fella named who's goes by the name of Legend. He can't go have his full name because of obviously Taliban would like to kill him. And as my conversation last week with former president over there told me that there's over 100 Taliban members in our country right now that have come in illegally. So we've got to really be careful.
Okay, a representative, with the time we do have left, I do want to get your take on an important veteran story. News Nation ran this exclusive investigation on Area 51 veterans who are doing top secret work on the Nevada Test and Training Range. They are developing cancers, they are getting sick, developing tumors. The DOD keeps them classified so they can't get the benefits and the care they need. What are your thoughts on this News Nation investigation?
It makes me angry. It's news to me, and I'm going to go after them. And I want to thank you all at News Nations. Again, your reporting is beyond reproach, and I thank you for bringing that to my attention, because that is not acceptable. My daddy fought in the Second World War, and those guys at Oak Ridge and those other areas that ended up dying horribly from cancer because they were doing the right thing and helping us in the war by their development skills. Those guys died just like my dad's buddies who died in the Pacific, his Marine Corps brother, and that died alongside of him. So I'm going to go to work on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Representative, what are you committing to do to help these veterans?
Well, I'd hope if they see my name and see this article, they'll get in touch with me. And I don't care. I don't care what enemies I make, especially in the Department of Defense. The war pimps over there, their business is war. They like war. They like, and it fills up people's bank accounts to these missile defense contracts, and Congress been involved in that as well. They own stock in those companies. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and I'll embarrass somebody, because that is just not acceptable. Those men and women, they sacrificed their lives. I know exactly what they were probably doing was disposing of waste and fuels, probably in burn pits, and they have cancer because of it, and that's undeniable. And we need to take care of those folks.
In light of the News Nation investigation, what is your message to the DOD tonight?
Y'all better do what's right, because there is a new sheriff in town. His name is Donald Trump, and I dare say he is going to let any of our heroes go without because of our mistakes we've made in the Department of Defense.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on.
All right. Representative Burchett talking about how we're funding terrorism. That's nice. That's nice. Wasting our doll hairs. Thank God we got DOGE and President Trump and all that. They're going to have to shut that down. Democrats are going to cry really hard when they take that money away. No longer fueling fire for the war. Next up, we got DOGE seeks IRS taxpayer data access as firing continues. Got their crosshairs on IRS. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. See what you hooligans think about Tim Burchett and everything he was just talking about. Also, I googled judge stopping Biden's pardons, and it says there is no evidence that that any judge has stopped or ruled against any of of Joe Biden's pardons. So I can't remember who said that, but it appears that that is not true. Those pardons are still pardoning. Russell, protect the vets, defend terror. Absolutely. Guess he goes by legend because Harry Balls was already taken. I think you're right, guess Zero Marines are training the Mexican special forces on how to fight the cartels. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find some information about that for tomorrow's live. What's up, D-Cat? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, D-Cat, I try not to talk about that stuff too much because I know we got a lot of veterans in the chat, but I've always been told not to join the military. My family always told me that when I was growing up because I thought about it. I used to do all the push-ups for a pencil in high school and all that stupid crap, but I'd always been told not to join the military because you're just a number that the government uses for whatever they want, and if they want you to go do terrible things, you don't have a choice. You have to go do it, and so that's why I never joined. Matthew, pretty ladies with guns and trucks make me melt. Well, you're going to enjoy the apocalypse, I'll tell you that. What's up, Shroomish? Happy freedom. Never gonna catch me giving my life to another country. Our own government doesn't even take care of the veterans now. Look at all the homeless vets. Yeah, absolutely. Cricket Kiss been using our military as guinea pigs for decades. Yep. I used to work for this company that made road repair products, and my boss was in the Navy for a long time, and he leveled up to a point where he was training people how to deal with nuclear fallout and stuff like that. But he said when he was leveling up, sometimes they'd go into random training programs that they'd have to do, and he said that sometimes they'd go out in the middle of the woods and there'd be two tables, and one table would be red pills and the other ones would be blue pills, and everybody would line up at table one and they'd all take the pill, and you'd ask the guy, what is it? And they would say, take it. They don't tell you what it is, and then everybody's vomiting and they're on all fours and they're throwing up blood and all this shit. And then they say, okay, line up at the blue table. And they line up at the blue table and they go, what is this? And they go, it's the cure. And they go, oh, thank God. So then they eat the blue pill. But then they start shitting themselves and stuff. And they're like, psych, that wasn't the cure. That was something else. Here, take this. And then they inject them with shit. And they're like, all right, you're going to be fine now. And my boss is like, I hated doing that shit. And eventually he leveled up to a point where he didn't have to go through it anymore. And I was like, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. He was like, yeah, don't join the military. I'm like, well, you're the 1100th person to tell me that, so I will make sure not to do that. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. Free the Texan, did he just say they're creating cancer? I didn't hear that specifically, but I wonder if he meant it like symbolically. Like, you know, we're sending money to terrorist organizations that cause us problems, so it's like we're fueling our own problems, which sounds pretty on point. Energy Woman RICO. Yeah, they should charge the Democrats with RICO. What's up, Winston? Happy freedom to you. Metal Mouth, a hot chick with a big gun and a big truck goes a long way in surviving the zombie apocalypse. That's right, Metal Mouth. That's right. I'm glad we all got our priorities together. Mm-hmm. J-Dog, my grandpa was a World War II vet. He talked me out of joining the Marines. Yeah. And I think, I think a lot of people have experienced that kind of stuff. I don't know. I appreciate everyone that served, but anybody that's served that I've ever been around has basically been like, you don't want any part of that. Like, you don't want to have to follow orders for things you don't believe in. And I believe that. For the Texan, military is great if you have no direction in life. I come from a military family. Yeah, when I was in high school, there was a lot of kids in classes with me that they knew they were joining the military. They were the same way. Their whole family served, and they were going to serve too. And there was no talking them out of it. And so I mean, I think that's just the way it goes. Some people, they're like born to serve. And then, I don't know, I guess the rest of us out here just being told not to. Ghostly, I have metal in my knee from skateboarding. The military wouldn't take me because of it. Yeah, I had some stuff going on where they were kind of questioning whether or not they would take me. I don't know if they would take me now that I'm a violent offender and I'm kind of getting old. They just raised the age. I think you can be like 42 or 45 and still join the military. That might be because they have low recruitment numbers. President Trump just said that we just broke a record or something like that for how many people are recruiting now that President Trump's in office, which is good. We need the numbers to go up, and we need to get rid of the individuals who aren't fit to fight in the military, right? Like President Trump's been doing, getting the shapeshifters out of the military and stuff. We're going to have to replace those numbers. So it's good that, we're increasing how many people are joining the military every day right now, because President Trump, he's making America great again. So Brian, happy freedom to you. Sir, I loved being in the military, but I had an indoor safe job. Yeah. I just know it's a sticky situation. It depends. You never know where you're going to go, and then you get there, and you never know what you're going to have to do. And all you know is if they tell you to do something, you got to do it. And, that could be scary. Could be scary. It's a hard job. The hardest. Zeus Boo, people are just mad that Jeff Gordon was at Jeff Gordon because he's better than their favorite drivers. It could be Zeus Boot. Harley Davidson, you a violent offender? Nah. Yeah, I don't know if they would take me because of that. I don't know. I'm not really looking to join right now anyways, so 'tis what 'tis. It's a pesky. Happy Freedom. I call him former VP Biden. I don't call him at all. I don't want him to come a-running. Time travel, probably bigger scandal than Watergate, the USAID stuff. I think so too, time travel. And as time goes on, we're going to hear more about what's all going on with that. The Democrats are trying to fight against it, but eventually they'll have to let it go. Josh 1776, shit, I might join the National Guard for the insurance. Might be the way to go. There's a lot of people here that join, oh, what is it? Is it the National Guard? Or it's like the reserves or something like that. A lot of people here join the reserves. And I'm not sure why they do that. But when I was working at what we call the Cherry Man factory, most of the cherry products that you see on the shelves in Walmart, the factory's not far from me. And I worked there for a while, and half the staff was in the reserves, and there'd be weekends where we were all mandated overtime because half the staff had to leave the state to go into training randomly or whatever. And I still don't really have a full understanding of what the reserves is. Ghostly, they never did find Corn Pop. Hope that dude's okay. You know, I don't even know anything about the Corn Pop stuff. That stuff happened before I started doing this. Alright, Hooligans. We're going to move forward here. Like I said, this next one is DOGE seeks IRS taxpayer data access as the firing continues. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, Hooligans, really quick. If you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble Hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. All right, let's pull up this Doge video. Doge has got them all mad. That's all right. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube, and let's get into this.
We're back now with the latest on the pace of President Trump's sweeping cuts to the federal workforce. The cuts picking up this weekend with jobs slashed across agencies. And this afternoon, the so-called Department of Government Efficiency may be a step closer to assessing that IRS system that contains taxpayers' sensitive information. NBC senior White House correspondent Garrett Hake reports.
Overnight, President Trump's sweeping plan to reshape the federal government reaching the Supreme Court in its first major test. The administration appealing a federal judge's decision to strike down Trump's attempt to fire the head of a government ethics watchdog. How the justices rule on this case could have larger implications for the legal viability of Trump's strategy, which has faced more than 60 lawsuits so far. The president giving a potential hint into the legal thinking behind his expansive moves and coming under fire after posting over the weekend, quote, "He who saves the country does not violate any law."
The dominant objective of this administration is corruption.
and lawlessness.
It comes as Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, is expanding its reach inside the federal government. On Sunday, NBC News learning an IRS worker affiliated with DOGE is expected to seek access to a highly sensitive computer system that contains taxpayers' personal information. The DOGE-affiliated worker seeking to identify fraud and protect taxpayers, an administration official said. And while the civilian workforce represents a relatively small portion of federal spending, over the weekend the layoffs and firings of federal workers continued to pile up nationwide, including hundreds at the Centers for Disease Control, according to two agency sources, as well as 400 at the Department of Homeland Security and 200 at FEMA, according to department spokespeople. President Trump touting his sweeping and rapid-fire efforts after visiting the Daytona 500 over the weekend, which included taking the Beast limousine for a lap around the track.
This country has made more progress in the last 3 weeks than it's made in the last 4 years, and we're respected again as a country.
But the cost-cutting strategy is running into some headwinds. The White House now trying to rehire safety workers from the agency that oversees the nation's nuclear stockpile, but are struggling to find them because they didn't have their contact information.
So they bring it back right at the end of the video there. They're like, and they're trying to bring back these nuclear weapon employees, but they lost their contact information. The federal government. It's funny because both those things are like in the same boat. They're talking about how Elon is going to gain access to the IRS, which is full of sensitive information to Americans, right? It's all of our tax information. It's really sensitive information. And they're worried about Elon having access to it. Meanwhile, there's other federal departments who don't even know their own employees' contact information. And they're worried about what Elon's doing over here. They don't even have their own employees' sensitive information. They're worried about the wrong shit. And I really think there's something weird with that nuclear weapons story, because how do you admit to the country that a federal agency does not know how to contact their own employees? That makes the government look so stupid. And like, I mean, they do stupid things, but you know they're not stupid. They're corrupt. The reason they seem stupid is because it's easier to play dumb than to admit to all the treason you're doing. So they're just like, oh, I'm just an idiot. Don't mind me. I'm old and stupid. And everyone's like, yeah, you dumbass. And then they go back to living their lives. Meanwhile, this guy's being a billionaire. He's got kids locked in his basement. And that's how they do the thing. These people are not stupid. They're corrupt and they're clever, and playing dumb is the smokescreen. Why is this nuclear weapons agency unable to contact their employees that were just terminated Thursday or Friday? They can't, all of a sudden they're gone. They're just scattered like cockroaches and can't find them anymore. That doesn't make sense to me. Either way, we're going to get right into this next video because it's a similar topic. It's also a short video. This is titled, Trump Fires FAA Staff Weeks After Deadly Mid-Air Collision. Now this is going to be another video where they're using language to suggest that what President Trump is doing is bad or wrong. Either or. And they're going to mention, like, instead of training employees, we're getting rid of them, which sounds like they're mad we're not doing DEI shit anymore. Either way, once again, this is Trump fires FAA staff weeks after deadly mid-air collision. Hit that like button if you got a like button, and let's get into this.
This weekend, President Trump began firing FAA air traffic control staff.
According to the president of the Professional Aviation Safety Specialists Union, employees began getting emails saying they were fired late Friday night. This comes just weeks after the deadly plane crash that killed 67 people. Instead of amping up staff to ensure the safety of pilots and passengers, the Trump administration is doing the opposite. Today, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association says they're, quote, analyzing the effect of the reported federal employee terminations on aviation safety, the national airspace system, and our members. Now, more people may lose their jobs over the long weekend, preventing them from entering FAA buildings tomorrow morning.
Okay, so like I was saying, more people getting cut. You can hear the language they use there. Seem really upset that these people are being fired instead of being retrained. Well, people are dying. It's time to start cutting off the fat. Next up, we got Homan calls on DOJ to probe AOC for helping border crossers avoid ICE. and I didn't add probe in there, Tom Homan himself is going to probe AOC anyways. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about the FAA staff being fired because they ain't shit, and DOGE aiming their sights over at the IRS. Russell, I don't believe that they don't have their info. Hell, my contact info is updated like on like 6 sites. Yeah, Russell, and that's what I'm saying. Like, McDonald's knows how to contact their employees, and they don't make nuclear weapons. So why wouldn't this agency know how to contact their employees? Like, that just, it doesn't make sense. Oh, thank you for being here, Zero. Good luck tonight, bowling. What's up, 10 Man? Happy freedom to you. Man reserves. When you're needed, you'll be deployed. That's how it was explained to me. I mean, that makes sense, 10 Man. Matt Rogers. People join the National Guard and the reserves thinking it's going to be easier. What they don't realize is they normally get sent first and stay the longest. Yeah, I believe that. And I mean, that makes sense. Like I was saying, when I was working at the factory, it was a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds that all had joined the reserve. And they couldn't explain what they were doing. And I don't know if it's because, one, they didn't know what they were doing, or two, if they were just trying to act cool and say, oh, we're not allowed to talk about our secret missions, blah, blah. I'm not really sure, but they never gave an answer of what the hell that even means. They were legit. Like I said, there was weekends where all the rest of us non-military people were mandated overtime because we had so much of the staff that would leave randomly for training and things like that. So they must have been legit reserves, but I didn't know what it was. And there's a lot of Coast Guard here. That was what I was trying to think of. There's Coast Guard right off the lake in Ludington. So when I was getting out of high school, there was a lot of people in my class that were joining Coast Guard because it'd mean you'd be stationed next to the beach. You'd be up the road hanging out. And when I was delivering pizza, I used to go there and deliver pizza, and they'd be sitting around tying knots, hanging out with rope, tying knots. I don't know. Everybody seemed bored, but either way, it was their choice. What's up, Puffin Stuff? Happy freedom to you. Metal Mouth, if people die under their watch, they deserve to get fired. Yeah, I agree. Even more, really, if people die because of, choices you make, then I think that there should be more accountability than just termination. But, I mean, you hear the reporters, they're like, well, instead of training them, instead of, doing something about it, he's just cutting them loose. Yeah, because that's how real life works. When something doesn't work, you cut it out of your life. You don't just negotiate. That's how you keep bad things in your life. We need natural selection. We need to make natural selection great again. That's what we need. All these damn dumb people, you got to explain shit to them. Sage Pop, exactly. I don't buy the we can't get a hold of them narrative. Yeah, there must be something else going on. I assume we're going to have a follow-up video because look how eager they are to talk about it. That last video was about the FAA, and before that was the IRS. And I think it was the IRS video where they were like, by the way, this other agency can't contact their employees. What'd you bring that up for? That had nothing to do with the IRS at all. So like, people are gun-ho to say that, okay, they were fired on Friday. They're trying to be brought back on Monday. Contact information's missing. Okay, we'll keep that energy because I want a follow-up video. I want to know, what are you going to do about it? What's the point of saying all of that? What's up, Tori? Happy freedom to you. Metamouth, hope you're not getting too much snow up in Michigan. Oh, we're getting hit bad. Right now, the winter weather advisory says that it is life-threatening conditions to be outside. But it's fine. I mean, for most people in Michigan, we're used to this. But for people who are just visiting or maybe it's their first year in Michigan, they're having a hell of a winter. But we're all doing fine up here where I am. I'm interested to figure out what's going on in Detroit, where that water main broke or whatever. I'm interested to see how much damage that's causing, but where I'm at, we're all fine over here. Hope you're being safe and warm, Metal Mouth. Holly, I I have to constantly talk my daughter out of the military. Those recruiting officers are going to the high schools to influence them to join. Yeah, Holly, that's how it was when I was in high school. They were constantly there, Marines, Navy, Army. They were constantly there trying to recruit us. And a lot of people did get recruited, but I was just there to do push-ups for pencils because I always forgot bringing a pencil to class. So that was like my way to pass class. I'd be like, hey, let me use the bathroom. They're like, all right. And I'd run down there. I'd be like, hey, y'all got pencils or pens? And they're like, yeah, but you got to do 20 push-ups. All right. Make sure I get a black one. I want a black pen. And they're like, all right. And I'd be hitting them push-ups real quick, come back from the bathroom. And like, all right, go sit down. I'm like, I got a pen. I found a pen. She's like, all right. You can do your schoolwork. You don't have to take an F for the day. That's my experience in the military. That's how recruitment was when I was in high school. What's up, Kirk Allen? Happy freedom to you. Man calling for 4 to 6 inches tomorrow. It'll be chaos around here. That's crazy for Tennessee. Holy. Stay safe out there, 10 man. Josh 1776. I doubt they'll do anything in Detroit. Too many of the houses have asbestos they never removed, so you can't do recovery work. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm expecting to see when I look into it, that a whole bunch of nothing is being done about it. Metalmouth, you're getting at least a foot of snow in Omaha. Yeah, you got to be safe out there. Craig Kiss, 9 to 12 inches there. Jesus loves us. Well, it makes me wonder what we're supposed to get here. Maybe it's worse than I think it is. I'm keeping my ass indoors. I know that. What's up, Cata Bikes? Happy freedom to you. What do we think about Chip Roy's SAVE Act? Basically requires a state-issued ID with Real ID Act qualifications. Are you talking about how you have to upload your ID in order to validate that you're an adult if you're going to access an adult-only website? Is that what you're talking about, Cata Bikes? Because I haven't heard of the SAVE Act or any of that, but there has been a lot of people in the chat over the last few days talking about certain states are requiring that you upload your ID to go on the hub or go to other adult websites, but I haven't experienced that, so I'm not really sure what the SAVE Act is. Cata Bikes. What's up, TJ? Happy freedom. So many planes falling out of the sky lately. Time to let the DEI go. Yeah. Back-to-back plane crashes like every single day. Man, nah, they never touched my rope. No, never had anybody in the military interested in me in that fashion. What's up, Andrew? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Animated Adventures? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Henry? You hooligans all sliding through here last minute. TJ, I think the military would still take you as a violent offender. They like violent people who know how to control it. I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't really know. It was a problem when I was younger because I already had two assault charges as an adult by the time I was a senior. That was the hardest thing about high school for me, is I'm going to jail, an adult jail with murderers and stuff, where you're sitting in the same room where people are pissing and shitting and eating all at the same time. And then I get out on Sunday and clock into school on Monday, and now I got to raise my hand to use the bathroom. That was so hard to go through when I was younger. But back then, when I was dealing with the recruiters in the school, they would always harass my buddies about signing up and stuff, and they always felt undecided. And they'd ask me, and I'd be like, nah, I'm good. And they're like, nah, you should join. You come and do push-ups and all this stuff. You could do it. You're physically fit, whatever. And then I'd start telling them my charges and stuff, and they're like, well, if you got brothers or sisters or friends that want to join, definitely send them our way. And I'm like, yeah, nah, that's good. That's all right. I'm where I need to be. Wayward, the ones who don't contact them back were spies. Maybe that's what it was. My uncle left the Marines, came back 3 weeks later. Left for the Marines, came back 3 weeks later, and was my aunt. That's my experience. Well, that's very interesting, Wayward. I had a buddy that's my age who joined the Marines 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and that was tough because he was marching around with his chest all out, telling people he was a Marine, and he hadn't even gone to boot camp yet. And he was strutting. He was picking out what car he was going to buy. He was like, "You see this? You see?" I'm like, "What? You going to get a Camaro?" He's like, "Yeah. The recruiter said I'd be able to afford one." I was like, "Okay." And he went off to Marine boot camp. He was there 2 weeks, and then they kicked him out. Something happened during boot camp, and he was given medical discharge. And he came back home, and he didn't want to talk about it. And that's all I know. But he doesn't strut around calling himself a Marine anymore. See, I make choices that don't result in ends like that. So my buddies, they got all the funny stories because they make choices like that. Either way, like I said, this next one is Tom Homan calls on the DOJ to probe AOC for helping border crossers avoid ICE. That's a nice little update, but I'm still ready for her to be arrested. Those are the kind of examples I'm ready to see. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
So you mentioned Tom Homan, going to bring him on in a moment here, Dana. We want to look at some numbers now. It's the mid-February, but if you look at January 20th, inauguration day, to February 8th, it's a 19-day period. You take that and compare to a year ago. Here's what we found. Interior ICE arrests inside the country. Last year in 2024, just shy of 5,000. You're well over that, double at 11,791 so far in 2025. Arrests of migrants with criminal histories. Here we go. A year ago, 4,500. You've nearly doubled that already, just shy of 9,000 in 2025. Arrests of suspected gang members. A year ago is about 200. Right now at 430 and standing as we speak today. Tom Homan is the border czar, and Tom, good morning to you. When do you run out of criminal illegal targets?
Well, look, we got, last count, we got almost 600,000 illegal aliens in the United States with a criminal conviction. So I won't be happy till we eradicate every one of those. And as far as TDA, we got a few more hundred TDA to look for, and we're looking for them now. They're our priority. Public safety threats remain a priority. So I'll be happy once we eradicate them from the United States, and we got a bigger population to go look for. But right now, we're concentrating on public safety threats, which is the right thing to do.
Okay, let me rattle through a number of things here and try and get as quick answers as I could because I got a lot to go through. Axios, Trump's immigration arrests appear to lag Biden's. One possible reason Trump's arrest rate isn't matching Biden's, the publicity surrounding the new president's tough talk on immigration has fueled a dramatic dip in the number of people trying to enter the U.S. illegally on the southern border. I don't know if that's true or not based on the numbers we just showed. How would you respond?
Well, they're adding the Border Patrol arrests to the ICE arrests, which we're not doing. We're just talking about interior arrests, and we're blowing them out of the water. We more than doubled them. And the reason the border arrests are done because we secure the border. I looked at the numbers today, Bill. 229 total encounters on the southwest border. 229, compared to that 11,000 a day under Biden. I started in Border Patrol in 1984. I've never seen the numbers this high. 229 total encounters in a 24-hour period. That is a record. So that's why there's less total arrests, because the border is more secure than it ever has been.
Okay, here is a complication in Florida. This is a sheriff from St. Johns County. This is how he explains that question about who's a criminal, who's illegal, who matches both. Watch.
We are finding people that are illegally here, most without criminal histories, most without any contacts at all. But that's hard to pinpoint too as well, because we know there's companies out there that produce fake social security numbers, fake driver's license that look legit, that are very, very similar to what our people would be issued in Florida if they're legally here.
You get that, right? I mean, you understand what he's talking about, and it can be confusing. Go ahead.
It makes our job more difficult, makes it less efficient, but we're drilling down on those cases, and they will be apprehended. There are states that are letting illegal aliens change their names, so that they're less able to be apprehended. But we're working through that. We have the greatest technology available, best technology we've ever had in ICE, and we're going to work through those issues. They're not off the table. We will find them, and companies that provide the fraudulent documentation will be held accountable.
San Diego has closed an office that was opened up to receive illegals. What's that tell us?
That tells us the border is more secure than it's ever been. We're going to have additional facilities built to detain for removal, not to hold to release, detain for removal. That is what the Trump administration is doing. That's what the promise that President Trump made to the American people. We're concentrating on the export program. We're not going to be, catch and release is over. So those facilities that were at great taxpayer expense to welcome people, fly them to the city of their choice, give them a free hotel room at taxpayer expense, 3 meals a day, free medical attention, those days are over. We're going to detain, we end catch and release, and we're going to hold people to remove, not to release.
Lastly, I heard you talking about AOC over the weekend. Do you believe she is breaking the law?
I'll leave that up to DOJ. What I find disturbing is that any member of Congress wants to educate people how to evade law enforcement. You can claim you're educating those constitutional rights. Okay, you can keep that claim. But what she in fact is doing is telling people don't open your door, hide in your home, don't talk to ICE. We're talking about people who are in the country illegally, committed a crime, they're a public safety threat, they've been convicted of serious crime, and they've been ordered removed by a federal judge. So it's like AOC and others don't want ICE to enforce the laws that they enacted. She's a member of Congress. Let us enforce the laws you enacted. That's what we're supposed to do.
You can't go after her. Do you think others should?
No, I think I've asked DOJ, where's that line of impediment, of interference? Now, if someone stands in your way, prevents you from arresting somebody, put your hands on you, that's impediment. But what line is telling people to hide from ICE, not open the door? Where do you cross that line on impediment? So I've simply asked the Department of Justice, give us that line.
You have talked to them about this. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow. We'll see where that goes. Tom Homan, I'm out of time. Thank you for yours to be continued. Thank you, sir.
Now, I'm not sure if they're trying to be professional or if he's shitty with Tom Homan. It seemed like a pretty stern interview. I think Tom Homan's trying to keep his opinions to himself. When he's talking about AOC and stuff, he's like, I'm leaving it up to the DOJ. It's up to them. They need to figure out where the line is. If she crossed it, investigate her. If she didn't, well, let's move forward here and try and get more people to be cooperative with this mass deportation. And that's the big thing right now. They're getting these people rounded up, but then they have a problem where they don't have places to store them. So now they're trying to find places to put these illegals, and they're getting that worked out. They got Gitmo, they got the Supermax in El Salvador. They got detention facilities in Texas. They also have them in Mexico, but for those are for Mexico citizens only, and they're getting that figured out. But while this is happening, AOC and liberal schools and liberal judges and liberal mayors and governors, they are all teaching illegals and giving advice to them on how to evade ICE. And these people need to be held accountable, or this will continue to spread. This is an ongoing issue, and the longer it goes on, the more people that think that they can do this. They think it's okay. And so they need to actually do something, or else these mass deportations are going to really slow down. And every time we cover a video where they discuss how many people are being arrested, and the last one was 1,500. 1,500 illegals are supposedly being arrested a day. Well, if you divide that by, 25 million people in the country, it'll be years before they get these people out of the country at this rate. So they need to increase those numbers and get even more illegals out on a daily basis. That's going to be difficult to do if we're going to allow everyone to teach illegals how to evade ICE. So they need to get ahead of what's going on, with all these people doing this, or else it's going to get worse. There's going to be more people teaching the illegals on how to evade ICE. And it's dumb because it's all put in the perspective that they have constitutional rights. They're like, you can evade ICE. Here, I'm going to show you how to do it. And what it is they're pretending to be Americans. American citizens have American constitutional rights. So when you're dealing with law enforcement and stuff, you can stand on your rights. Illegals don't have those kind of rights to stand on. They have human rights. They have, rights. I'm trying to think what it's called. They have human rights, but they do not have American constitutional rights. But law enforcement doesn't know that. You can't just look at somebody and assume they're illegal. They have to ask for paperwork. They have to ask for identification. But if you're not being charged with a crime, you do not have to provide identification. It's your right, right? But if you're an illegal, you don't have that right, but law enforcement doesn't know that because they don't know that you're illegal or not. And this is the kind of stuff that these Democrats are teaching the illegals to pretend to be Americans and to stand on those American rights to evade ICE. These people need to be dealt with. It's up to Tom Homan and them to do it. The doing an interview every day, the tough talk and stuff, that's great, but they need to actually start doing stuff, or these problems are going to continue. And while they continue, what's going to happen for midterms? We're going to have illegals voting in midterms? Is that what's going to happen? We're going to have them sway the votes? Or about the next presidential election, we're going to have their influence involved in our election? We need to get these people up out of here before it's time to vote again. And so they need to actually do something and stop, tough talk on TV. It ain't working. Next up, we got Elon. Let me see. Elon Musk urged to audit the U.S. gold reserves. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about Tom Homan. Also, I looked up the SAVE Act. Apparently the SAVE Act is Chip Roy with the intention to amend the National Voting Registration Act to require proof of citizenship. That sounds pretty good. So it sounds like the SAVE Act is requiring just that. You have to prove you are an American citizen if you're going to be voting in our election. Yeah, we need that. 10 man, want to be like a commie? We'll treat you like a commie. That's right. That is right. Snooks, if Trump is going after sanctuary cities, they need to go after AOC too. Yeah. Well, they need to start making examples out of these people so individuals who are considering training illegals to evade ICE, they won't be as inclined to do so if they see that there is steep consequences for doing those actions. Russell, I support Homan. He's no hoe, man. I feel the same way. I'm ready for the examples, though. I believe him. I want to see it. I want to see these elected officials getting arrested and stuff since they want to stand in the way. CPS, the Bill of Rights. Yeah, but that's not the same thing. The Bill of Rights does not cover illegals. And those were the rights I was talking about. There's another phrase other than just human rights. J-Dog Homan, a.k.a. He-Man. Yeah, he is the He-Man. Too old to care. We don't need no stinking badges. Well, and that's true too. And I wonder if Americans will wake up to that shit. If there's going to be Democrats interfering with the mass deportation, there's also Americans that could help point ICE in the right direction. Officers do this a lot. That's why they have assets. They have informants. Because officers require moving with the law. So if they're trying to get at a bad guy, and the bad guy's clever enough and he knows his rights and he knows the law, he can evade the cops. But if they have assets, keep track of the bad guy, they can interfere with that and cause a situation where the cops are able to make an arrest because somebody without a badge might have crossed a couple lines that they may or may not should have crossed, and it led to an arrest. And so that's kind of the other step of this. We're missing the Americans that are helping with the mass deportation because they don't need a badge, and maybe they're calling in on hotlines, or they're calling the Fed boys and pointing in the right direction of where there's a bunch of border crossers hanging out hiding and stuff like that. Maybe we'll start finding videos like that if enough time passes and they don't get this stuff taken care of. Tony Rez, Tom Homan called out the Pope. He's called him out twice now. I don't know why the Pope wants to get involved in what's going on over here. What's up, Resident Alien? Happy freedom to you. J-Dog, Tom Homan should send AOC to Gitmo. Yeah. Yeah, she'd change her ways if that was on the table. Puff and Stuff, go after governors of sanctuary states first, then move on to mayors. Yeah, Puff and Stuff. They need to do something. Tough talk on TV is not scaring the Democrats. Cats of bikes. Yeah, it sounds like a good thing. The SAVE Act thing seems like what we need. What's up, John Smith? Happy freedom to you. My state votes by mail. Don't know how that would work. That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know that until this last election. I didn't realize there were states that only have drop boxes or mail in and stuff like that. Here in Michigan, you do it in person. I think there's other options, but I always go in person. But yeah, they need to make it so you have to prove that you're a U.S. citizen in order to vote, and they should have legit ways to vote and legit ways to validate that who you voted for is how it's tallied up, right? You vote for red team, it stays as a vote for red team. It doesn't, do weird things after you drop it into the machine. We need transparency, and we need to validate that only Americans are voting in our elections. Agent O, the Pope sold out to the New World Otters. Yeah, and that's what I've been told. I don't know anything about the Pope, but he doesn't seem like he has favor with any normal people. Jolik here again. Follow the money trail. That's right. It always leads back to Democrats, though. That's the problem. And then nobody does anything. Time travel, the Pope smokes dope. He'd probably chill out if he did. Steve S. Maybe some bad information was planted to make DOGE make the wrong decision, and then the data was altered to be irretrievable, again, to make DOGE look bad. It could be, but everything that DOGE does gets confirmed by President Trump. So if DOGE decides to fire those people that were working for the nuclear weapons facility, then it had to be okayed by President Trump before it happened. Now maybe they were duped. Maybe they were set up to fall in a trap. It could be, but it's hard to tell. There's so much change going on, and then at the same time, the White House is doing an awful job telling the public about all the change. The executive orders and all that stuff, they are doing a terrible job relaying that information to the American people. The only time we get any good information out of the White House is when Caroline Leavitt's on the screen. Everything else is either a pre-recording that gets played later in the day by random news agencies where nobody thinks that it's real, nobody thinks it's live, nobody thinks it's a credible source. And then the third option is they just don't give us anything. There was 1 or 2 days where they did executive orders and there is no video footage of it at all. And they're doing a terrible job at the White House giving that information to the people. And they need to do better. They absolutely need to do better. Metal Mouth, yeah. That's all I keep hearing too. Stoner, yep. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward. Like I said, this next one is Elon Musk urged to audit the U.S. gold reserves. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you would like to get some cool custom hooligan items, definitely go check out the Only Hooligan shop. Alistair put this together, and he makes all the items that are listed on the Only Hooligan shop. He makes them all himself. So anything you guys get from the shop goes to, a little bit goes to me, and a little bit goes to him, and it helps things roll. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. Alistair is our lead graphic designer, and of course it helps keep the live going. So definitely go check out the Only Hooligan shop for all these cool custom items. Like I said, he makes them all himself. And we got new stuff coming as well. So definitely go check out the new shop. Like I said, we're going to get into this next one. This is Elon Musk aiming at the Federal Reserves. And this is all over X right now. I think people are really excited about Elon trying to audit the reserves, or at least go see, is the gold still there? Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube, and let's get into this.
All right, so this morning to talk about going for the gold, Elon Musk and DOGE setting their sights on the country's largest gold reserve, Fort Knox in Kentucky, as its own senator reveals that $425 billion of a gold supply doesn't even get a yearly review. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins us now. So, Senator, I didn't know it was that much money there, and I was even more surprised that there's been no review.
Well, you know, I've been trying to go down and see the gold and make sure it's all there for about 10 years. During the first Trump administration, I got permission. You have to get permission all the way up to the Secretary of Treasury. And then the Secretary of Treasury said, well, I want to go down there too. And then he said, I want to go down there when the eclipse is coming through Kentucky too, so I can see the eclipse and the gold at the same time. But they came when I wasn't there. So I tried for 10 years. I set up the appointment. And then because they wanted to see the eclipse, they changed the appointment. I didn't get to go down. But the Secretary of Treasury and the senior senator from Kentucky did go down and attest that they believe they saw the gold down there.
So what do you think the problem is?
You know, I think some of them may not think it needs to be audited all the time, but I think the more sunlight, the better, more transparency, the better. Yeah. And also it brings attention to the fact that gold still has value, and implicitly, not explicitly, but implicitly, gold still gives value to the dollar. Yeah. That's why we don't get rid of it. You know, we've got it, the IMF has it, the World Bank has it. Most of the central banks around the world have gold, and it's an implicit trust that the dollar still has some backing.
So, Senator, I want to switch gears with you. I want to talk about, since we're talking about money, the GOP budget resolution that is apparently in jeopardy over concerns from the moderates as well as Democrats about the budget. Talk about it. I mean, you are your father's son, and so I know you've had these objections to it. What are they now?
Well, this year the deficit's going to be $2.2 trillion. In March, both parties will come back and probably spend $300 billion more in California for wildfires, and it will be borrowed, not paid for. We just spent another $100 billion in North Carolina. It never seems to end, and we don't borrow it. So what I would say is for border, if you want money for the border, take it from somewhere else in the budget, but let's don't have a new spending bill. So this budget is setting up a new spending bill. And ultimately, this year, there'll be a $2.2 trillion, and people will be scratching their heads saying, what about all the cuts? What about all the things? The DOGE committee, Elon Musk has found billions of dollars. The way you save money, and it has to be done, is they send it back to Congress in something called a rescission package, and then we vote on it with a simple majority. So Republicans alone can cut the spending that DOGE is finding, but they're doing a great job, and they're going through it with rapidity, but it's got to come back to Congress. If I started seeing that, I might be more inclined to go along with them.
I'm almost out of time, but I got to quickly ask you, why aren't you in the room? Because, as I've said, you haven't changed your position. You're still reasonable, though. You understand you're not going to get everything. I believe your support of a bill will get some of the folks in the House. You'll get Chip Roy, you'll get Thomas Masse's support if you were involved in the negotiation. So I think Thune has been doing a fairly good job compared to McConnell. But why haven't you been involved with the negotiation?
I've told the negotiators from the very beginning, if they want my vote, they have to talk to me about the numbers. They have to be believable numbers, and we have to adhere to them. If the numbers in the budget resolution will be adhered to by the Appropriations Committee, I could be inclined to support the budget. But so far, I've seen no indication. For example, there's $1 trillion difference between the budget document and what we're going to spend this year. So it becomes a fiction. And if it's not honest accounting and they're not honestly going to do it, I don't want to vote for a rubber stamp that actually leads to increased spending.
I think that's fair. Hopefully they bring you in, because I think some good can be done. Senator, thanks so much for giving us some time this morning.
All right. Pretty exciting. Maybe Elon will live stream it. Now, I Googled this because I don't know anything about the Federal Reserve. And it says that the United States Bullion Depository, often known as Fort Knox, holds a significant portion of the U.S. gold reserves, currently around 147 million troy ounces, or 4,580 metric tons of gold bullions, which is slightly over half of the total gold reserve held by the federal government. The last comprehensive audit of the gold reserve was conducted in 1953, and since then the U.S. government has not allowed a full audit. So I think it's about time that we go and see what's going on with the gold. And like I said, hopefully Elon will live stream it or do something to prove to us there's gold in there, because going in there and checking it out and coming out and going, yeah, it's in there, I don't know, that's not very convincing. So hopefully they'll actually show all of us and it'll be real and not like Hollywood bullshit, but we'll see. Like I said, the last audit was 1953, and I think we're about due for another one. Next up, Tom Hanks as a racist Trump supporter in a MAGA hat, afraid to shake hands with a black man. This is a skit done by Saturday Night Live, and they thought they were being funny doing this. This is going all over the internet, so I figure we'll cover it. Now, we got that coming up, and then we got lefties losing it. So really, this is the last little bit of the news. This next stuff is kind of news, kind of not. This is more like just viral stuff going on. It's a little bit more lighthearted. Either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think about this Elon Musk situation and the gold reserves. 10 man, let's see, the gold's been gone since the 70s. Yeah, I believe it. I've always heard that there is no gold in there. I've never been told otherwise. Screaming Eagle, gold painted bricks ain't worth shit. Yeah, see, and that's what I wonder too. Is it going to actually be gold? Are they going to do a scratch test? You know, are they going to run it through a machine? Probably not. It could be just a poster on the wall, and they'll just pretend it's real, and we'll all go, oh, look, the gold's still there. I don't know. We'll see. Metalmouth SNL has not been funny since 1995. I've never thought they were funny. I know that like Jim Carrey and Chris Farley and all of them are from SNL, but I've never seen it when they were on. So anytime I've seen SNL, it's just been forced humor. What's up, nobody's fault? Happy freedom to you. Stoner, they need to cut some of those bricks in half to prove it's not just plated bars of nothing. Yeah, Stoner, I agree. I think that should be included in the audit to make sure that it's actually gold. Now, they could weigh them because they are supposed to weigh a certain amount, and if they don't, then it means that they could be hollow, they could be plated. You know, it could be copper that's plated in gold. It could be a lot of things. But yeah, that definitely should be a part of the audit. Metalmouth, it was a bot. It was a bot that was in the chat. I smoked them, but yeah, they show up every once in a while. Crick Kiss. I believe Trump wants to nationalize the Federal Reserve and tell the private Rothschild and company to F off and pull their charter. Yeah, and maybe that is what it is. And disrupting the people pulling the strings in the background. Totally care. I don't need to know the gold's location. I just want to see it. Yeah. Yup. Stoner, if they find no gold, I bet gold prices skyrocket. Yeah, I bet you're right. Well, I think that if they were to come out and say that there's no gold in the reserves, I wonder if it would cause foreign countries to not deal with us anymore. Because that's kind of the whole thing, is that we got all this gold. That's what gives our dollar its value. If we don't have gold, then our dollar doesn't have value. If it doesn't have value, well, then we go into hyperinflation like Zimbabwe. You're paying $100,000 for a glass of water and stuff like that. So it's a pretty serious situation, but we'll see how it rolls. Tom, the Federal Reserve is a private corporation, not a government-ran business. It was started after all the rich people that opposed it were killed on the Titanic. Interesting. I've always heard a correlation between the Reserve and the Titanic. Josh 1776. Trump wants to know how much gold we have so he can make gold back crypto. Yeah, and I guess the government owns a shit ton of Bitcoin and stuff like that from confiscating it from criminals. Josh 1776. We're on the, what is it, petrol dollar? We moved off the gold standard a while ago. Interesting. I've never heard that. I've always heard that it's been based off gold. 10 million foreign countries would say, fuck you. Yeah, and I think they would. I'll check it out, Russell. Thank you for posting that and letting me know. Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that $20 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Thank you so much for the support. It says, first, happy Freedom Hooligans. Appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Thank you. America first. That's what it is. It's a Plastic Quack. Happy Freedom. Well, that's good that I guess our dollars are not backed up by gold, because when they find that there's no gold there, then maybe it won't affect us so bad. That's what I've always heard, though. What's up, Resistance? Happy Freedom. What is it? Nobody's Fault. What is that movie on? Is it in theaters? Or like, how'd you come across that? I've never even heard of that. Stoner backed by BBL twerking. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. Nobody's Fault. It's not a movie. Well, I'm not going to say it out loud until you tell me what it is. Because I don't want people going and Googling it if it's a bunch of bullshit. Teasel, the crypto will get so much wealth that they will pay off national debt, but gold could surpass 3,000 and pay the debt with that. I don't know. The future's exciting. I know that. What's up, Mother Rat? Happy Freedom to you. Mother Rat, being off of the gold standard makes it so they can just print infinite amounts since it's based off of nothing now. Yeah. Well, see, and I thought that was the whole reason why they couldn't print money, is because it's supposed to be gold backed. But if it's not, then yeah, I guess what does it matter? Henry, you think there is gold in Fort Knox? There might be. I've always been told that there isn't, but I've always been told by people who don't know any different. The gas buck? That makes sense, Wayward. Oh, it's a documentary, Nobody's Fault. I didn't realize that. The creature from Jekyll? Is that Jekyll? What is it? Jekyll Island. Never heard of that. I'll have to Google it. Plastic Quack, it took 650 planes to get our gold back from the Vatican. The Pope wasn't happy. Is he storing it inside of himself? 10 man, I don't know. We'll have to Google it. Yeah, Jerry, we'll see. That's the thing. There's so much change going on. We won't really know until things start taking effect. Well, we're going to get into these last two. I think we're going to play these back to back. This first one is Tom Hanks as a racist Trump supporter in a MAGA hat, pretending to be afraid to shake hands with some black dude. Now, like I said, SNL put this out. They thought this would be really funny. I don't know if they had to fly all the way to Greece to go get this asshole, but they did something. It's interesting that he has a MAGA hat on for real. I thought it was like a gimmick one, but somebody spent $50 to get the real deal. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube, and let's get into this.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome at Black Jeopardy anytime.
Oh, well, all right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it What Jeopardy?
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey.
Okay, so that was Saturday Night Live pretending to be funny. Like I said, I don't know what made them think, let's go get Tom Hanks and let's try and do this. I don't know if they were, I don't know what they were expecting out of that. I guess just trying to play into the minds of liberals and be like, yeah, we're on your side. Because they know the MAGA supporters ain't going to burn their building down. If they went out there and made fun of BLM and all of that, they're going to show up and burn the studio down. MAGA don't do that. They don't riot. They hardly protest, especially after J6. I don't know the last time I've seen like a 2A audit or a free speech audit. Patriots just don't do that stuff. Not anymore. They don't go burn shit down. So I don't really know why now would be the time. You see a lot of people playing ball with President Trump. President Trump's making a lot of change, and it all seems to be good, except for the confused Democrats. So I just don't know. Saturday Night Live was like, let's see if they boycott us. Let's see if they hurt our numbers. I guess really what it is evidence that they're not being paid for by the USAID. Because if they were, they wouldn't have the money to pay Tom Hanks to show up and go do the deal. So I guess at least there's some good news there. But either way, we're going to get right into this next one. This is the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. And this is titled, Lefties Losing It, a New Low for Offensively Stupid CBS Anchor.
Now.
Bam. All right, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube, and let's get into this.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and I'll be bringing you a new low for the mainstream media and their deranged hatred of Donald Trump. You would not believe what a CBS anchor said on air, and she still has a job. But let's ease our way into Lefties Losing It by checking in on the woman who almost became the leader of the free world, the woman the media tried to tell us was a competent and visionary leader, an orator. Yes, it's Kamala time.
For those rights to be maintained, which means we have to be vigilant, and it's just the nature of it.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's Kamala time or happy hour. The former Veep appears to be unburdened by sobriety, allegedly. She was in New York to visit the cast of A Wonderful World on Broadway, and she explains here it was a rare outing. She doesn't get out much nowadays.
I don't get out much these days. But we wanted so much to see this before you guys left. This is my first trip to New York actually since the campaign. And I wanted to come to see you all before the show left. And this was so beautiful. And it just had such depth and soul and all the nuances.
Such depth and soul. But it wouldn't be a Kamala word salad without some inspiring words of wisdom.
It's just the nature of it. Yes, look at this beautiful play. And it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything. Right? These things all coexist. But I believe we fight for something, not against something.
Prostitute. Yes, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Well, not quite sure about the clear eyes part there. But let's move on to one of the most disgraceful performances from a news anchor that you'll ever see. Face the Nation host Margaret Brennan, fresh from being humiliated by JD Vance, was interviewing Secretary of State Mark Rubio, and she actually claimed that the Holocaust was caused by free speech. This is not only offensively stupid and historically ignorant, but it shows just how demented the leftist media have become.
He was standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party that has far-right views and some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship was specifically about the right.
No, I have to disagree with you.
free speech was not used to conduct a genocide. The genocide was conducted by an authoritarian Nazi regime that happened to also be genocidal because they hated Jews and they hated minorities and they hated those that they had a list of people they hated, but primarily the Jews. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was none. There was also no opposition in Nazi Germany. They were a sole and only party that governed that country. So that's not an accurate reflection of history.
Free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. That's what she said, word for word. Marco Rubio corrected her, gave her historical facts to counter her, frankly, insane propaganda, but he was far too polite. When someone says something that spectacularly stupid, they need to be put in their place. And I mentioned J.D. Vance humiliating Margaret Brennan just a few weeks ago. Let's take a little look at my two favourite moments from that interview. Here, J.D. Vance wipes that smug look off her face.
Well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country founded by...
country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers, but just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
And here J.D. Vance gives birth to a new meme. I don't really care, Margaret.
We absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people
it's
are
not
vetted.
good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
I think that interview broke Margaret Brennan's tenuous grip on reality, because she's now claiming that free speech in Nazi Germany caused the Holocaust. Now, moving along, I do love it when TDS sufferers like Bill Maher have to admit that President Trump is not only highly effective, but is now cool. This must have hurt.
Here's how bad the Democrats up. Trump is cool now. He's not just the most powerful guy in the world and just made himself like the richest. He's actually kind of at 78. I mean, rappers like him. The athletes are doing, I was making fun of him, two guys at one time. And now he owns it, and they're doing it. I mean, the village people are gay for Trump now.
The village people are gay for Trump now. The cultural shift in the US is real, and it's big. And it's touched another former TDS sufferer, Stephen A. Smith.
What voter out there can look at the Democratic Party at this moment in time and say, there's a voice for us, somebody that speaks for us, that goes up on Capitol Hill and fights the fights that we want them fighting on our behalf? They didn't do that. And that's why their behinds are home, and that man is back into the White House. And they want to sit up there and talk. You look at the networks right now, they're talking about him. Look at it. This is the latest. Look at him. Here he goes again. Well, you know what here he goes again means? He's doing what he said he was going to do. He promised you he was going to do these things, and he walked into office week one, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's saying, y'all do something about it. And when you try to do something about it, he's going to say, look at them now. Now they're concerned about these issues. Were they talking about that during the campaign? Hell no.
And trigger warning for the lefties, the polls are showing the American people back Donald Trump's key policies despite the 24/7 media hysteria and lies. Here is ABC News actually reporting facts. It leaves the Democrats' Hakeem Jeffries lost for words.
Donald Trump's favorability rating is actually higher than it ever was the first time around. Let me ask you, a recent poll by Marquette looked at several of the things that he has done or says that he is going to do, and 63% favor federal government's recognition of only two sexes, 60% favor deporting immigrants who entered the United States illegally, 60% favor expanding oil and gas production, 59% favor declaring an emergency at the southern border. Is there anything you are seeing that Trump is doing that you are in favor of, that you think is the right thing?
Let me say, as it relates to all of those issues, we're just at the beginning.
All right. So, lefties losing their marbles. I feel like it's a good way to transition into our fun stuff for the day. Nice little plethora there of idiots being idiots. So I was looking into this because I seen someone say that the Tom Hanks thing was from President Trump's first term. But that's actually the other part of the story, which I didn't realize until just right now. Apparently Tom Hanks originally played that character, the racist Trump supporter, in 2016, and Saturday Night Live decided to bring him back, that character, to portray that character all over again. That's where all the outrage is coming from. It's not just the fact that Tom Hanks was pretending to be a racist MAGA supporter, but it's the fact that they brought it back to do it again after, 9 years has gone by or whatever. So I guess that's where all the outrage is coming from. This is a return of that character. I didn't realize that until I just Googled it. Either way, like I said, that is all the news that we got for the day, but we got fun stuff coming up. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar that Josh1776 sent us. Then we got 2 funny videos of the day. First one's titled Big Booty Latinas Can Stay. Then our official funny video of the day is titled Happy President's Day to Donald Trump. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think of the lefties losing it. Tin Man, yeah, I think you're right. Well, liberals are already a threat to children. Russell, SNL hasn't been funny in a while. Yeah, I've never thought that stuff was funny. I have kind of like dark humor though. I don't know. Light, funny things are not funny to me. Tin Man, I haven't watched SNL since the 80s. Yeah. Gotta make America funny again. That's what we're here to do. Thank you so much, Cricket Kiss, for that $10 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate the support, Cricket Kiss. Thank you so much. Says thank you, Jeff and Snooks, and all the hooligans. Thank you, Cricket Kiss. Libby Racer, Libs need to visit Trump Trauma Center. I think you're right. Happy freedom to you, Libby Racer. Metal Mouth, watch Klaus won't show up until damn near the end of the live, till it's almost over. He was here in the beginning. I'm trying to think. We were covering something. I can't remember what it was. It might have been the Daytona stuff. I don't know, but I noticed him leaving in the middle of a video. Ghostly, so many leftist tears. Tennessee flooded. We're going to be in real trouble if they keep crying this hard. Yeah, I think you're right, Ghostly. We're going to have to vote them off the island. That's what's going to happen. Pumpkin, they don't know what they want. No, they don't. They're just mad. Resistance, I did not see that coming. I think someone called me a Nazi the other way, talking like that, doing the same thing. I was at Wesco and there was an employee who walked up to another employee and he was like, I did not see that guy standing there. And he was not running the register or anything. He came out of the back and was talking to the person that was waiting on me, and I'm pretty sure referred to me as a Nazi because my hat has a flag on it, and my coat has an American flag and it's got a Michigan flag on it. And I'm pretty sure he was referring to me as a Nazi. I let it go though. I didn't wait for him to come out in the parking lot to cut his face in front of his children. I've learned. It's just not worth it. What's up, Golf Coach? Happy freedom to you. Bill Clay, Rita's always fun to watch. Yeah, she does a pretty good job. Resistance, I really don't care, Margaret. Smoked her. Ghostly, Vance, just too real. I believe him. Yeah, I think Vance has been doing pretty good. I can't believe the blowback from him going in front of those world leaders and talking about how free speech is important. And then Germany hopped right up there and they were like, bullshit. They were like, no, it's not. We're not going to tolerate people talking bad and da-da-da. I mean, I knew they were commies, but I didn't know they were going to be that bent out of shape at the mention of free speech. Nah, Metal Mouth, I don't even know. I got to Google it. Pumpkin, is Klaus lost? No, he's checking the parameter. Sage Pub, just make me a sandwich, Margaret. She'd probably fuck that up too. Democrats. Jeez, hair juicer, you are having quite the time. Hey, thanks for being here, 10 Man. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. What's up, Uncle Sam? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mitchell? Happy freedom to you. Arresting people for being mean on the internet with words is wrong. Germany still sucks. Yeah, Mitchell, I saw that. There's a video going around on X showing that, like CBS or ABC or somebody. They're walking around with authority in Germany, watching them arrest people over memes. Damn. Throwing my chapstick. That's how you know it's getting real. Henry, did you like that Daytona 500? I didn't even watch a whole 10 seconds of it. What's up, MD Cyrun? Happy freedom to you. Prostitute. Mm-hmm. Wayward, I like The Living Color in Mad TV. All that was better than Saturday Night Live. I've never seen Living Color. I have seen Mad TV. I used to not really be a fan of that either, but I agree. I think the Mad TV is funnier than SNL. SNL just seems like a woke shit show at this point. Resistance security cat on duty? Yeah. He's got my back, just in case. Mitchell, I wonder if the German authorities realize who they look like. Well, considering the badge on their shoulder is red and black, I think that they know. I think they know exactly what they look like. Yep, looking like the Gestapo in the streets. The thing is I think they don't care. That's the scary thing, is that they look like Nazis, they act like Nazis, and if it walks like duck and talks like a duck, you're inclined to believe it's a duck. But when the duck doesn't care that you're calling it a duck, that's when you need to worry about shit. And they're acting like Nazis out there, so yeah, I worry about the people out in Germany. Well, like I said, we're going to get into our fun stuff. We're going to be opening today's door for the Advent calendar. But before we do, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use that Linktree link in the description in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Like I said, we're getting into the Advent calendar. This was sent to us by Josh1776, and it looks like we were on day 6 of 24. So let's see what we opened today. Ooh, I broke the damn box. Why'd they do it like this? This was a rough one. Either way. Aw, dang. Come on, come out of the box. Never said that before. We got Oogie Boogie today. This is my favorite one so far. Look at little Oogie Boogie. I wonder if he glows in the dark. Not like a Fed boy. Different kind of glowing. We're going to set him on the light. We'll see if he glows. Either way. Thank you so much, Josh1776. Appreciate you. Let me see. I don't know if he's going to glow or not. I'm going to set him on the light and I will update you guys. All right, we're going to get into our funny videos here. This first one is an Alex Stein video, and it's a good one. Now, if you get mad at this, you're soft, because this makes me laugh for days. This is titled, Big Booty Latinas Can Stay.
Big booty Latinas can stay! Protect big booty Latinas!
Man, what's up with that? Don't come over here disrespecting our women.
Well, I'm trying to protect them. I don't want them to get deported.
Fucking racist asshole.
How is that racist? I want big booty Latinas protected. Dude, I'm on your side. Dude, what are you doing?
You scared?
I'm not scared at all. What's going on?
Don't fucking push me.
Hey, I'm not touching you.
Push.
I'm trying to protect you. No, the fuck you're not. Yes, I am. You're a big booty Latina.
Hey, you say that one more time. If he says that one more time.
What I say, big booty Latina. What are you going to do? Big booty Latina.
Say that one more time,
Big
bitch.
booty
Say
Latina.
that one more time,
Big booty
motherfucker.
Latina.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Big booty Latinas get to stay.
Let's go to the back right now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the back right now. I'll show you how much
Yeah.
of a coward I am.
Oh, I'm real scared.
let's go.
I'm real
Let's go.
scared.
Let's go.
Protect her. I want to protect all big booty Latinas. If she's a 9, she's fine. Protect big booty Latinas.
He's calling me out, but he won't go to the back with me real quick.
I'm not gonna wrestle with 2 twinks and some fat Mexican.
Just me. Just fuck with this fat Mexican in the back.
If there's a taco truck right there, maybe. We want to protect big booty Latinas under all costs. Big booty Latinas. Big booty Latinas are welcome to stay, not big booty Latinos. His ass, he's got to go.
If she's a 9, she's fine. All right. We're going to get into our official funny video of the day. Ah, yes. Let's get this pulled up. This is titled, Happy President's Day to Donald Trump. Not tired of winning yet. All right, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm gonna grab this Linktree link really quick and drop it in all the chats. And then we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up. Alright, hooligans, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we gotta have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience a live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there in the chat while watching the live. You'll also have access to Hooligans Alley. You'll have access to the forums. You'll have access to the arcade. You will also have access to our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats that gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. jeffmaclive.com is the place to be and the home of the hooligans. So definitely go get yourself a membership. We're going to read through really quick, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Russell, I'm loving my new wireless headphones for the computer. That's badass, Russell. That's what I need to get because my headset's corded and it is annoying. Oh, you got Razer headphones? That's awesome. Oh, thank you for being here, Screaming Eagle. You stay warm yourself. Thank you, Too Old to Care. Yeah, I'm wondering how bad the weather is. You guys are normally, I have bad weather. So if you guys are telling me you're getting 9 inches of snow, a foot of snow, that's making me feel concerned. Thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, MU. Libby Racer, Trump is just killing it. He is. It's the year of the Trump. Ghostly, I say send them all back. I don't give a fuck. I feel the same. I just thought that video was funny. Sage Pup, his facial expressions. Yeah. What's up, Sibo? Happy freedom to you. Bill Clay, he's not being a racist at all. No. He's being funny. I mean, not everybody thinks so. As I'm reading through the chat, apparently not everybody thinks so, but I thought it was funny. Resistance, damn, I feel sorry for whoever shares my memes in Germany. Well, they're doing it at their own risk, Resistance. You know, they know what they're getting themselves into. What's up, Bull Moose? Happy freedom to you. Time travel, he's got balls. A little bit. He wasn't willing to step out back with the masked buddies, his compadres he had there. But yeah, he's going in there doing the thing, getting them all riled up. The other dude was like 4.5 feet tall. He was like, "You scared? Scared you go bite my wiener at that height?" And Jesus loves us. Hey, thank you for being here, Mitchell. Thank you, Wayward. Not tonight, Josh 1776. I got a bunch of stuff going on in life right now that is really weighing me down, and it has been since October. But hopefully in the next couple months, I'll have more free time and stuff like that, and then we'll be able to get back into gaming. Like I said the other day, I just uploaded a bunch of new emojis to the gaming channel over on Rumble. Eventually, we'll get back into gaming. I just got to get through this life stuff first. Thank you, Rappy. Appreciate you being here with us. All right, hooligans, it looks like we're good to go. It's that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Goodness, over here kicking chapstick. I got like 3 chapsticks on the floor right now. Either way, we're going to read through really quick just to make sure no hooligans are left behind, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And we'll be keeping our eye out for press briefings with Caroline Leavitt, as well as President Trump going live or any lives happening at the White House. We will see as they go live, because I highly doubt they've got their schedule together. But either way, Coffee with Hooligans will be at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely find your way back. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and we're wrapping her up. Hey, thanks for being here, Josh 1776. Appreciate you. Thank you, Matt Rogers. Thank you, Sage Pup. Screaming Eagle, are there really any lefties anymore? Asking for a friend. I don't think so. I think they're all just a bunch of commies, and really, they're hardly even that. They're just crying all over themselves. They're pathetic. They're that. I don't know if they're lefties, but they're pathetic. Thanks for being here, Patriot Dad. What's up, Shark? Happy freedom to you. All right, looks like we are good to go. Like I said, we are going to be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for Coffee with Hooligans, and we will go live as the White House goes live. If they're going to show the press briefing, or if they're going to show President Trump signing executive orders, or who knows what tomorrow will bring. But either way, we will do our best to cover it. I hope you hooligans have a fantastic night. Thank you for hanging out and enjoying some news and some funny videos, and a little technical problems over on Rumble that fixed themselves, not too bad. But either way, hope you guys enjoy your night, and hopefully you'll make it back tomorrow for tomorrow's Coffee with Hooligans. And I want to say there's something I'm forgetting, but I don't know what it is. Either way, I'll remember and I'll tell you tomorrow. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.